Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our opening day of blade&soul Korea Season 1. My name is Joseph. Joining with me is Ending Live. And we're back for another season, for another year of blade&soul Korea. A lot of expectations coming towards that new class with the Gunslinger now in the action. And we're going to get just a whole fresh new year of what we can expect from blade&soul here in Korea. Any expectations that you're talking about coming into the new season here?
Well, like always, a new beginning, a new season is, I'm always grateful for. But during the VCR in the introduction, we did see a roulette in the middle of the stage, and I'm very excited to actually, get a theme, or not a theme rather, but a new, subject to deal with in this blade&soul tournament, because we've had this mix and match. We had the separate of singles and tags for a couple of years, so now we're just adding a new thing to be interesting, make this tournament a little more interesting. And I'm very happy to see the upgrade of the production.
I mean, we tried and tested multiple different formats, as you mentioned, Ending. We're going to get with a new overview of how the blade&soul of 2018 will be held. We're going to go with the schedule first of all. Starting with today will be the first place decider of Group A, and tomorrow will be the same for Group B. Of course, next Saturday we'll start the second place decider of both Groups A and B all in the same day. We're going to get right on to that next day with the dual tournament finally beginning that round 1, continuing on for that next Saturday with the round 2. And the finals will come very, very soon enough, as we'll get the second place decider and the finals all on June 10th on 1300 Korean Standard Time.
Yep, so as you guys can see, a total of 6 days for Season 1, and it is all in Korea Standard Time. So there's 6 days, and you guys probably won't remember everything, so just take a screenshot and translate the time into KST to where your region is at. But now this is how the overview will be until the quarterfinals. It will be all best out of 5s and semifinals, and the finals will be best out of 7. And Joe, explain to us that thing in the middle that says random.
The roulette you were talking about earlier, Ending. This is what it's all about, because this is the change, the big change that we had brought into the 2018 blade&soul. That will be a random match in the middle of all the best out of 5s and best of 7s. So in set 3 for best of 5 and set 4 for best of 7, we're going to roll a roulette. Of course, it's going to be rolled by the referee themselves, and going to decide whether we're going to play a single or a tag. So what that really tells us is that when we have teams that were once better at singles more than tag, and sometimes the other way around, they were more focused on one mode over the other. Now you gotta be demanded to be good at both modes if you want to be competitive here at blade&soul 2018 with Korea. And just means that anything can happen in terms of who we know do better at singles and do better at tags. And based on the roulette, we could see the matches going either way.
Yeah, and as you guys saw, it is best out of 5 for today. And like Joel mentioned, now the tournament format is forcing or demanding of teams to be good at both singles and tags, and adding that roulette randomness. It is a 50-50 if you see the roulette. It's either tag or singles, but if you guys saw on the bottom, a singles player cannot come out again during the random, or during, you guys saw at the bottom in the best out of 7, you can't come out in the round 2 and 5, blah, blah, blah. But either way, all your players have to be ready for singles and tag at the same time.
You got to be ready for anything, and we're going to look at the overview of the qualified teams. And Group A will consist of GC Busan Blue, IDEPS, and GC Busan Red, and Ha Ha Ho Ho, of course, the new team that came about. Group B will have Kudeta, KKC, Anarchy, and also Nyang. And just talking about what that means for the roster changes we had during the off-season. A lot of players have moved around. Some teams have stayed primarily the same, but we got to talk about some of the roster changes that will come forward into how we can expect the teams will do, especially against each other.
Yeah, so today's matchup, we see the 4 teams that will be playing today. We will have the winners match all the way for Group A, and you guys will soon see the VCR. And like Joe mentioned, there's been a lot of switches in teams. You see a lot of familiar team names here: GC Busan Blue, IDEPS, GC Busan Red. Ha Ha Ho is a new team, but we will see some familiar faces in that new team as well. So soon when we get into the VCR, you guys will be surprised of how the teams have swapped regardless of how they performed last season.
And we're going to get to see some of the new roster changes very, very soon here. But let's go into the match prediction before we get on with anything. Thinking about who's going to come out on top. And wow, GC Busan Red, 94%. You still see the familiar faces with Junohan still there. Sonja Choi, the World Destroyer, is still there as well. But you see a new addition coming right from GC Busan Blue to join as a third member.
Yeah, we do see Hyuki An over there in GC Busan Blue with Jung Oh-yoon. So if you guys remember last year, Jung Oh-yoon, the Force Master, the master of Force Master, you know, Hyuki An was the follow-up of that Force Master, but now they're in the same team. We're gonna have to see what kind of composition they'll bring out, and you see Ha Ha Ho Ho having Jinyu Park once again in this Korea tournament.
There's a lot of stories behind how the roster changes came about, and all these people are gonna be here to watch as we do see the new implementation of where the roster changes will affect the games here, because you know, as you can see, the fans are still believing that GC Busan Red is going to be the strongest out of all, adding with Son Yoon-tae, Yoon-tae-son coming from GC Busan Blue to join in this new team, so making a very, very strong roster overall. We're going to get to the live events, obviously. This is going to be only applicable for the people who are here at the OGN studios, and if you want to take part, you always have to just get a really expensive ticket. That would consist of probably the $5 ticket that you can come to get into the OGN Stadium, but probably thousands of dollars just to get to the Korea itself. So, you know, if you're going to be in Korea anytime during this tournament is resuming, always feel free to join in on this event.
Yeah, and you know, just since you guys cannot participate in this event, why not talk about some of the team swaps and stuff. And you know, I mentioned about Hyuki An and Jung Oh-yoon, the two Force Masters in Korea currently being on the same team. But I also want to talk about items where Daeyoung Choi and Hyungyu Kim, the two assassins that we remember from last season, are on the same team as well. So you know, we're gonna have to see what kind of character swaps they have done, or what new characters they've brought out. Maybe one of the assassins, one of the Force Masters might have practiced the Gunslinger to bring out for the composition.
It would be alright to obviously, play whatever you want in the singles, but this is more so for tags. Obviously, you talk about, when you talk about composition, you're really just referring to the fact that, you probably will not want two of the same classes in one team. And of course, that would mean that one of the two, especially from GC Busan Blue, we talk about Hyuki An, Jung Oh-yoon, formerly just Force Masters in themselves, and you're gonna have to see some changes. And you said Gunslinger might be an option. Might just get to see that a little bit later, of course, but we'll get to get more detail about that once we start introducing the teams themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And the Gunslinger, since it is the first season, the official season that we're bringing him out or her out, I've actually seen some NA and EU tournaments where the Gunslinger was a formidable class to compose around, because it can actually stay out on the field for a very long time. It can endure, as well as the damage output is also very good. So like Joe said, we don't know yet. We don't know what these teams will bring out for us, but let's hope that it's not one of those old school metas. We always have a Warlock mirror, we always have this mirror, so we'll have to see.
We're going to get to interview VCR to see what the players have decided to say before the matches begin. We'll get shortly into that. Lots of exciting stuff.
할게요. 뭐라고요?
안녕하세요. 저희는 GC 부산 블루팀의 안혁희까지만해.
오케이. 안녕하세요. 저희는 다시. 안녕하세요. 저희는 GC 부산 블루팀의 안혁기,
윤정호,
정윤재입니다.
안녕하세요. 저희는 아이드립스 팀의 김현규,
최대영,
김신겸입니다.
상코만.
작년에 블루 같은 경우에는 그냥 끝나고 다 흩어졌어요. 다 이제.
친구가 이제 마지막 부탁으로 이제 같이 하자 하니까.
윤재보단 현규다.
네?
윤재보단 현규다.
그런 거 물어보면. 저는 둘 다예요.
한 명만 좀 선택해 줄래?
하나, 둘, 셋.
김현규.
파이파이. 뭐 그렇지. 이게 부산 남자들이지.
굳이 이렇게 오래 가기 위해서 그런 팀은 아니었던 것 같아요.
이거 브라스를 나가도 되는 거니까. 그냥 각 팀마다 약간 좀 그 성향이란 게 다 있는 것 같아요. 경기 부스 안에서는 되게 긴박하거든요. 저희는 되게 침착한 편이에요.
인정.
인정.
말을 하라고.
인정. 저희는 충분히 세다고 생각하기 때문에 자신 있어요. 정윤재 선수는 그 랭킹에도 없더라고요, 잘. 그분은 못 나올 것 같고, 제가 봤을 때 정호 형이랑 이제 협기가 나올 것 같은데 저본 적이 없어서 일단 붙어봐야 알 것 같아요.
작년에 대영이 형이 암신이라고 불릴 만한 실력이었다고 생각해요. 그건 인정하는데 뭐 져줄 수는 없잖아요, 경기인데.
일단 정우 형이 기공사이기 때문에 비장의 카드예요.
기공사라는 클래스 자체가 대회에서 그렇게 흔한 클래스가 아니에요.
저희가 좀 제일 힘들어하는 개인전 3명이 다 있는 조합이긴 해요. 기공사 잘한다는 2명 거기 다 있고
대련 자체를 아예 안 해봤기 때문에 전략이 아예 추측이 안 돼요.
정호 형이 항상 4년째 하는 말이 기공사 약하다거든요. 지금 진짜 세요.
그러고 털리면은 그날 어떻게 하냐.
윤정호 선수가 멘탈이 은근히 약하거든요. 공략을 하면 좀 쉽게 풀어갈 수 있지 않을까 생각하고 있어요.
안혁기 선수한테 하나 볼까요?
혁기가 혁기 줘본 적이 없어갖고 칠 줄을 모르겠네요. 걔한테는 이름도 금방 기억나가지고.
그 말을 좀 매갈 있게 해라.
오케이.
힘 있게.
대회는 안 떠는 사람이 이기는 것 같아요. 근데 전략이 어딨어.
저희 아이덱스 팀에 전략이 있는데 최대영 선수를 안 덥게 하는 거예요. 일단 얘가 안 더워야 됩니다. 얘가 더우면 안 돼요. 저희는 져요. 그래서 항상 부스 내 처음에 18도로 유지했다가 경기 시작 전에 24도 정도로 유지를 하면 무조건 이깁니다.
대회는 정말 아무도 모른다. 대회는 누가 덜 긴장하느냐 이제 그런 것 때문에 좀 승부가 많이 갈린다 생각을 하거든요.
4강까지는 무난하게 올라가지 않을까 생각합니다. 최소 준우승.
저는 1등 아니면 안 합니다.
이번 시즌 진짜 칼날 갈았거든요. 기대하셔도 좋을 것 같아요.
Really exciting stuff because we do get new teams left and right. And GC Busan Blue, these are not the faces of GC Busan Blue. You're used to Yoon Ji-jung was only the stay.
Yeah.
He's the only one that stayed in from the 2017 roster. And joining in is from IDEPS. Jung Yoon coming in as the master of Force Master. As you always like to mention, ending, and he's going to be joined in by the apprentice of Hyuk Yeon. So we talked about Gunslinger earlier, and Hyuk Yeon is going to put that as an option. So probably in the team, the mix and match, talking about that tag matches that we'll see. We'll probably get to see the first signing of the Gunslinger here.
Yeah, and it is interesting, like you mentioned, Yoon Jae-jung is the only one from the previous GC Busan Blue staying in, getting these two Force Masters in, and Hyuk does, like you said, have the Gunslinger down. But we'll have to see what IDEPS will bring out with Shingyun Kim and Daeyoung Choi and Hyungkyu Kim as well, the two assassins on that team as well. We'll see if they'll bring out the Gunslinger, or maybe they'll surprise us with another class that we did not expect from either Daeyoung Choi or Hyungkyu Kim. But on the other hand, Shingyun Kim, we already know that he plays all the classes, and he's had experiences with at least 4 to 5 classes being played in the tournament as well. But now we do have IDEPS on screen, and they have so many classes down, it's hard to predict what their main will be for this season 1.
This is 2018 IDES, where we get Shingen Kim from Coup d'etat last year, Hyungkyu Kim coming from GC Busan Red, Daeyoung Choi coming from the world champions GC Busan Blue. So GC Busan Blue, other than Yoon Jae-jung, has all split up and has gone their separate ways. And IDES, I mean, this on paper looks like a very strong roster. And talk about Hyungkyu Kim usually was the assassin player, but with Daeyoung Choi literally being the best assassin in the world, you can't really rival this guy. And Hyungkyu Kim decided to go with the Destroyer this time around.
Alright, so Hyungkyu Kim will go. So this IDEPS composition is kind of like one of those old school compositions where the Gunslinger isn't there and the Force Master isn't there. We do see the Warlock Destroyer composition with the Assassin on the DPS. So we'll see if this kind of old school composition will work out against this Gunslinger on the other team.
Gonna get the match prediction for this special match, and 92% for GC Busan Blue. This is not the same roster that won the World Championship in 2017. This is a very much a new roster with still brand new addition. Thinking for the fans, there's still a strong addition that can go very well against IDEPS, but you just can't count IDEPS just based on that number alone, because they do have a strong roster of really talented players, and how well they meld together will probably be the biggest outcome in terms of how we can get the fairest of outputs here. But we're gonna get a set 1 right on the way here.
Yeah, and the predictions are the fan-based predictions, the votes that go through online and in the live stadium. But this is not, it's not, you can't really say it's a troll vote, because for the fan votes and for the Koreans that are participating in this voting is actually participating in the events. So, you know, you want to get it right as much as possible so you get as much items for free for winning that vote prediction. So, you know, we'll have to see if maybe some skills, some compositions might work out better for GC Busan Blue, even though it is not, you know, last year's GC Busan.
Just showing that the first match will be the tag match to begin us off, so that's something very different from what we're commonly accustomed to. We usually like to see the singles to begin us off, but tag right away from the get-go, and you're going to see the new class with the Gunslinger probably held by Hyuk-Yeon, but otherwise it's going to be a very common match between two strong sides, and I don't think we should count out items just yet. Let's see what happens though, because we're going to get on to game one. First tag match, the first opening day matchup between GC Busan Blue and INES for game one. Let's get it on. Let's get the match underway. Opening day here. blade&soul Korea 2018 Season 1. Start off with Hyuk-Yeon on the Gunslinger. He's slinging a lot of ropes as he tries to maneuver around the assassin coming from the Daeyoung Choi.
Yep, Daeyoung Choi's assassin, like we remember, one of the best, or maybe even the best assassins currently, especially after Jinyu Park left. He didn't participate last year too much, and you know, he kind of said that he won't be participating, but he's back. So we'll see if Daeyoung Choi's assassin could match up, or rather Jinyu Park's assassin could match up with Daeyoung Choi. But right now Daeyoung Choi taking a lot of damage from Hyuk-Yeon's Gunslinger. Not having an easy time right now.
This is a dark Gunslinger instead of a fire Gunslinger,
Yeah.
what we're usually like to see, and you talk about that more damage that comes from a fire Gunslinger. The maneuvering around with Hyuk-Yeon feels like he felt that was necessary going up against Daeyoung Choi here. Of course, we know him as the world's best assassin possibly, but to go up against this Gunslinger to begin us off.
Yep, and you know, Shadow and Fire for Gunslingers. When I tested out, or when I am testing out the Gunslinger in the PvP arena, I usually do Fire and Shadow. I just go back and forth to see which one's better. But you know, Hyuk-Yeon playing it as a Shadow, and you know, and the NA and EU also kind of going back and forth, but mostly Shadow, just shows us that, you know, in terms of pro play, this fits better for the tag, especially for the composition. And as you know, they are both about to get force tagged out.
3 seconds left.
Yep.
It's not going to be a problem for both players to get out of there. But the Gunslinger doing a good job of buying time. He's on the losing end. Kind of a hard time, but we see now the defensive interferer coming in from the Destroyer just to defend up. Shinga Kim is going to die out right away coming from that Hyuk-Yeon. Putting in the damage with Jungwon, just putting him on the corner. Even the Destroyer just trying to make sure he's there for the defensive efforts. Did not pay off, and we're going to see the early exit of Shinga Kim on here.
That Shinga Kim literally just got deleted. He came in, got into the airborne. Wow, just deleted force mass. Too much damage, and that was mostly the Gunslinger damage in the aerial. So you know, just remember that a class could be deleted off the stage.
We saw that mostly came through the Jungwon pinning his opponent on the corner there, and Shinga Kim had nowhere to escape. And you saw Hyuk Kim was pretty reactive, trying to just get there on the defensive effort in time, but still did not prevent his ally from going down in an instant, especially with the Hyuk coming for that interfere there.
Yep, and Yoon Jae-jung finally out with the Warlock. He hasn't had the best time with the Warlock last year whenever going up against Juno Han's Warlock, but let's see if his Warlock has improved a little bit.
He's going to be up against the assassin of Daeyoung Choi. He's going to be back out after having force tagged out, so he hasn't used the tag point quite yet. Getting onto a stun though. Jung does get out, put in escape.
Yep, and Hyuk does come back in. So currently, you know, the tag interfere points on both sides are pretty evened out, except for the fact that Shinga Kim just is not on the board anymore. You know, the first 2 to 3 minutes, Shinga Kim just gets deleted with the wallbang into the aerial. But now Daeyoung Choi once again about to be force tagged out. We'll see if a chase will happen.
Close down the distance.
Ooh, the chase happens.
Okay, he's gonna get the stun up, but
yeah, forces a persistence out. One of the escapes for the destroyer. He still does have his tag available.
Kim, last time out, he was only trying to defend his teammate from dying out. Failed in that attempt, but gonna be out now for himself to battle against Hyukyeon. He's the enemy that has killed out Shin Kim in his first appearance of the game.
Yep, we'll have to see. But like we see right now, Hyukyeon's been practicing the gunsling. Wow, the wall bang happening.
Gonna be a lot of damage coming in. Oh, that interfere coming in.
Okay.
Dan Choi as well, trying to add to the damage, but Hyukyeon still relatively healthy. Just put in the damage, gets up in the air. Destroyer having a hard time just trying to get out of there though.
Yep, and the tag out happens. You know, right now, GC Busan Blue is kind of in a comfortable position with Shin Kim being out so early. And, you know, Jung Ho-yoon always has the best time when he's up against an assassin. He loves to toy around with assassins, and we'll see if Daeyoung Choi will put up with that this time around.
Jung Ho-yoon with an ultimate. Of course, nothing really coming from it, but trying to get towards the inches of Daeyoung Choi, trying to get the angle upon him.
Yep. The ult was used to try to get him out of stealth, but the area effect was not big enough to cover the whole stadium. But for now, like I said, GC Busan Blues is comfortably just going on with what is being put out there in front with Shin Kim out of there. Warlock, you know, Shin Kim's Warlock is one of the best Warlocks in the world, and you know, dying out so early in the game is just putting GC Busan Blue in a comfortable spot.
We know the utility possibilities of having a Warlock on your team, and Shin Kim would have helped out in so much, but a lot of damage already, and Jung Ho-yoon, you have to be careful there.
Yeah.
He almost died out in that instance. Of course, Daeyoung Choi trying to put in maximum amounts of damage. Don't work out, but you see, Hyukyeon coming in. Tried to just get out, but had to use an escape to get out.
Yeah, Daeyoung Choi coming in a split second earlier than GC Busan Blues interfere, being able to do that damage to Jung Ho-yoon, forcing him to use his last tag point to tag out. But, you know, Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master could be on the field, but he is also very good with 2 interferes on the bench as well.
Yeah, doing a very good job so far, just maneuvering around the assassin, forcing Hyung Kim to come back out on that Destroyer. Of course, we saw Destroyer having a hard time with this Gunslinger the previous time out. Gonna continue to have that struggle here as we see Hyung Kim not having much room to move around.
Yeah, Hyung Kim's definitely, his comfortable class is the assassin, but him going on the Destroyer, I'm pretty sure he has practiced a lot. He has a lot of experience with the Destroyer, but you know, his comfortable fingering on the keyboard is for the assassin. So we'll see if the Destroyer on Hyukyeon on the Destroyer will be able to kind of pull his weight for this team.
And we've seen this matchup between the Gunslinger and also the Destroyer being that the mobility that a Gunslinger has over the Destroyer just allows it to kite away.
Yeah.
Just put in constant damage while the Destroyer just has a hard time to even chase. Tries to get to where the Gunslinger might be, but you know, you got, if you're Hyung Kim, you have to overcome that disadvantage. Tries to make something happen. See that starting to happen now. Jung Ho-yoon just trying to come in for the defense and interfere.
Alright, Daeyoung Choi also comes in, tries to help him out. Kind of nothing too much happens on both sides, but Hyukyeon will be force tagged out in 2 seconds. The chase, will it happen?
And just here, the damage still coming in. Hyung Kim gonna be knocked down on the ground.
Wow.
Trying to just get as much as he can, but still has to use his last tag to get Daeyoung Choi now back on the field.
Yep, landing that daze Hyukyeon before he gets force tagged out, but the ult is happening. We'll definitely dodge it, yeah. Warlock ults, you usually, most of the time, don't get hit by that.
Just time distortion, just to get all the cooldowns back into play for Yoon Jae-jung.
Yeah, Yoon Jae-jung hasn't been making too much plays as a Warlock right now. Maybe it's because they're so comfortable with Shin Kim being out. We'll have to see. Daeyoung Choi is not, you know, just any assassin.
Feels as if they are really trying to get this into play and trying to make sure the most out of these interactions, because they still have 3 members GC Busan Blue. Use that maneuver around it. Has that 1 tag point for Hyukyeon. Trying to move around the assassin as much as they can.
Yep, Hyukki is the only one with a tag point, so you know, his teammates, they all have their interfere points ready just in case. But you know, regardless of what GC Busan Blue is up to, IDEPS, they have to make a move. There's only a minute and 15 seconds left. They have to eliminate one or just get as much damage output as possible, just in case it goes down to the TKO.
Yeah, to see that he just buying time. He's not really interested in putting in damage, but just gonna force out the interfere once again from Hyungwoo Kim. But what? Oh,
what?
What? Where?
Yeah,
what
Jung Ho-yoon.
Uh-oh.
Jung Ho-yoon interfered in because he saw Hyungwoo Kim come in. But Jung Ho-yoon came in with around roughly 30 to 40% health,
Yeah.
and he got deleted.
Oh, wow.
But we'll have to see the replays to see what happened exactly. But either way, Jung Ho-yoon is out.
Yeah.
So it is a 2v2, 35 seconds left.
Definitely need a second look at that at the replays, but yeah, but we're still looking at this very late exit of Jung Ho-yoon, which would probably mean that even if it does go to damage charge, see who will put out the most damage in the end. Obviously, GC was out on the winning end, but Hyungwoo Kim just trying to stay alive. That's the biggest problem for him now right now.
Yeah, no tag points for Hyungwoo Kim. There's 10 seconds left. Hyungwoo Kim probably will be knocked out. There we go. Daeyoung Choi all alone by himself. 1 versus 2. 5 seconds for that force tag, but early tag happens.
In the end here, we might just get to the KO, but here we go just right to the technical to see who won out in damage, but
I'm still curious about how Jung, because I was so focused on Hyungwoo Kim's interfere in with the
that's a
destroyer.
lot of damage though on both sides.
Ooh! But you know, this was expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sounded surprised, but GC was on blue. Of course, expected playing with 3 men over 2. For most of that game, is going to be finding themselves the winner of game 1. There's a tag. Just bring you 1 point. Oh, that's something we didn't mention. Every match now only counts 1 point. So when we had 2017 where tag was worth 2 and singles is worth 1, every match, even including the random match that we're going to get with the roulette, everything will be 1 point each. So definitely will be easy to keep track of if you're the viewer. So, but let's get to replay here. The only thing that we want to see is how Jung Ho-yoon died out.
Exactly. Right when I was so focused on what Hyungwoo Kim was going to do with that interfere that Jung Ho-yoon coming in the back. Right, so this is not the time yet. Jung Ho-yoon has to be under 50% health. That's when he interferes in.
Yeah. So he had a hard time with that. Daeyoung Choi just putting damage, which was good, but you're right there.
So right now, okay, so now
about 25% health.
Yeah, so now he'll interfere in. It's not even a tag. Okay. So he just interfered in, and Hyungwoo Kim was spinning, and he just interfered into Hyungwoo Kim's damage, where he was actually going for Hyuki, but that interfere coming in right next to Hyuki, Jung Ho-yoon took all the damage, and he was just eliminated right after he tagged in.
Jung Ho-yoon
interfered in.
just making sure that he played a near perfect game on that one, but that one mistake made it look bad, but did not really count against the actual results. See GC Busan Blue now on the winning end against IDEPS. We'll get on sets 2 where we get singles. Who's going to make their appearance. This is going to be the important one to keep track. See who has the courage, especially from IDEPS after losing that game 1. Set 2, who's going to come out and make an appearance for himself. I imagine it's going to be Shingen Kim. He's always one to really step up on the plate and tries to make a difference for his team. And we'll see if that's the case. That's a will, and will be the Warlock for this guy. And Yoon Jump back on his comfort pick with the Summoner.
Yeah, we'll have to see which one will win. Obviously, like you said, everything is worth 1 point. And if you guys saw the logo at the bottom, we now have the team logo for every set that, you know, whichever team wins will have that logo next to the set 1 or set 2. But now we do have set 2 Shingyang Kim on the Warlock.
We're going to see how this match unfolds after losing that game 1. IDEPS looking to strike back with Shingen Kim now on the lineup. Let's go on to game 2 between GC Busan Blue and IDEPS. With Yoon Jung on the Summoner, Shingen Kim on the Warlock. Let's get it on. Not wasting any time here. Get into the match. 3 minutes of play time.
Yep. This is probably the only time Shingyang Kim actually gets to play because he got knocked out so early last game. Didn't even have the time to warm his hands up.
Probably playing 10 seconds at maximum for that last tag match. Of course, he'll have more time to prove himself here, but
that was a good airborne for Shingyang Kim, but the cat actually countered, and Shingyang Kim was unable to put in as much damage as he wanted to.
Still putting in damage though. Jung on the losing end of this trade so far, and gonna heal back just for a little bit, but once we get to the TKO, that probably will mean that Shinga Kim probably gonna get the better out of these trades.
There we go. Tetherblade landing, but the cat once again putting Shinga Kim into the aerial.
Gonna put him on the wall there. Shinga Kim just tries to get out. Doesn't use a tab escape. Get out of there, but still taking continuous amount of damage.
The sunflower.
And Shinga Kim.
The aerial, but the cat also counters that as well.
Oh my word.
Oh, cat carry. I'll have to say that because every time the Warlock, or Shinga Kim rather, put Yoon Jung into the aerial, about to put out that burst damage, the cat was like, no. It just comes in and just...
But you know what happened? Shinga Kim played about the same amount of time as he did in tag on that single. That was a quick exit, and Yoon Jung not here to kid around, not here to fool around, and he's gonna just finish the game on that manner. Is there any replay to show? Because the game ended so quickly.
Exactly, and right, starting off with the first scene of the replay, the cat counter, and here a tab escapes out, and then he puts him into the aerial, and then the cat counter. So here the aerial, Familiar actually puts Yoon Jung into the air, but the cat is just doing so much
1
work.
minute and 7 seconds on the clock. That's all the time that it took for Yoon Jung to destroy Shinga Kim second time around, and wow, this is something we didn't expect.
Yep.
Of course, maybe the fans were more right than we were. We thought just couldn't count off items quite yet, but from this momentum that we're seeing, that GC Busan Blue seems like a much stronger team coming onto the season 1 of 2018. But finally, we're gonna rule the roulette, see what the next set 3 will be, because this will be the all-important one for, especially for GC Busan Blue. One more match here to just take home the victory. We move on to the next series, but see what it does though.
If you notice, we have everything vice versa. Everything is mirrored except for that small tag match that you see. That's actually extra. So maybe... Do you see that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh. What is that? Is that gonna be singles?
Okay, I think it's singles.
Okay.
But right where the arrow was pointing.
Okay, so it is gonna be single, confirmed by our producers, and it's a very close one. And so it could be another quick one. Of course, if we do get a different opponent, if you played in set 2, you probably will not play in set 3. So this is the important one for a different player to take part and tries to do something for their team. And I think this is more important for Ideps. Has been losing 2 in a row now, and tries to get a third one. Let's come back, and they're in a long hill from there because they have to win 2 more matches after that just to take the series. So really important for now. Ideps get a victory. Who are they going to stand down? Who's GC Busan going to stand down as well?
I kind of... This came to my head while watching this roulette going on. Last year and the previous years for Shinga Kim, when he loses a singles, he usually comes out back to back to back until he wins. And last year, there was a case where Shinga Kim lost 2, maybe even 3 singles in a row for his team in Coup d'etat. That, this roulette thing happened because of him.
And look at this though, Jung Yoon on the Force Master. He's gonna be able to get Hyunga Kim, not on the Destroyer, but it's gonna be on the Gunslinger, not even the Assassin. So we thought it was an Assassin 1 trick, this guy, but has been putting some time onto that Gunslinger. He's gonna bring it up for the singles against Jung Yoon's Force Master.
Yeah, it is interesting to see Hyunga Kim bringing out the Gunslinger, because I haven't heard any news about Hyunga Kim getting a lot of practice in with the Gunslinger, but we'll see how he does, because a formidable Force Master, Jung Yoon, if you're able to do some damage or even beat him, that allows everybody to acknowledge your class and your place.
There you go, and we'll see if Hyunga Kim can do that, because he desperately needs a win right here for his team, where definitely has a long way to go from there, but this could be the beginning of their comeback for IDFs. They win 3 sets in a row. This is going to be what they need, but GC Busan Blue only needs 1 now. Jung Yoon can finish off the series by winning 1 more single right here against Hyunga Kim. So the Force Master that he's so comfortable with, Hyunga Kim, is he as comfortable on the Gunslinger? That's going to be the question we're asking here.
Yeah, I'm surprised to not see Daeyoung Choi on the Assassin, but the music changed and we are moving on to potentially the last match of this series. Let's get it on.
going to see Jung Yoon, Force Master, very much expected for a second entry in the singles, but what you were hinting at ending was that IDEPS might have been better off sending Daeyeon Choi. He's a very good assassin. Ends up saying Hyung Kim instead. That's the best way forward here.
Yeah, I just gave you a facial expression and you understood me. You're like, oh yeah, I know, right? But anyways, yeah, we do see Hyung Kim out. And this is potentially the last round if Hyung Kim loses. GC Busan Blue takes the win for the first series of Season 1. So you don't want to do that. So I'm pretty sure Hyung Kim is comfortable on the Gunslinger to bring it out, because if you lose, you're done for today.
It really is. And Jung Yoon, of course, we're wanting this play now and see if that 92% win prediction is going to be true here. But Hyung Kim, wow, putting a lot of damage onto Jung Yoon there.
There we go, another daze. Hyung Kim's waiting for that escape to be used for Jung Yoon, but the mind games that's being played here is just too much for me right now.
Jung Yoon has to be careful. Very, very low on health. Does freeze himself up, but it's not going to get too much health out of that interaction. Jung Yoon still getting damage out there. Hyung Kim might be able to finish off with just a few more hits, and might just get into set 4 if Hyung Kim can get this done. Not too far away now.
Yep, we'll have to see the Gunslinger being so good in the tag. Oh, there we go.
That fire strike from the top, that will be what it takes for IDEPS to get their first victory in this singles. Of course, it was a random match, and Hyung Kim stepped up to the plate, showing what is up, and he's going to get his team right back into the game here. We're going to get a set 4 to see if this continues, or GC Busan Blue, can they finish it off? Because we need to win one more game, while IDEPS needs to win a couple more to get this series back into their hands here.
Yeah, missing a lot of CCs right there for Jung Yoon. It's not gonna be good for you. But Hyung Kim played that very well, kind of playing mind games. Same for Jung Yoon, he was playing mind games as well, but he was already on the losing end for the trade. So it was inevitable unless Hyung Kim made a very big, enormous mistake. But it kind of played out the way Hyung Kim wanted, and it allows IDEPS to stay in the game for now.
See the IDEPS fan here just cheering on for his team, and understandably, they have very, very good players, but have lost the first two, now back in it just a little bit. 2-1 on the scoreline. Next tag match tells a story of whether we're going to get back into this one, or we're going to see GC Busan Blue eventually close it out, because the last time around it was relatively an easy win for GC Busan Blue, talking about knocking off Shingon Kim very early in the game and having that 3-2 advantage. Gave them so much to work with, and ended up going to a TKO, getting a very good win. So can they do it again? Can Shingon Kim stay alive? It's going to be another question there.
I want to believe that Shingon Kim kind of made a mistake, and as well as Hyung Kim not being able to defend Shingon Kim as a destroyer. But what I want to say is that it was a mistake on IDEPS' part. So this tag, let's hope that it's a little more interesting and more exciting, rather than seeing one of the players just being knocked out of nowhere.
Really needs Shingon Kim to put in his force, because today's showing hasn't been great. Talking about the tag, losing out in such a fashion, and in set 2, getting absolutely dominated by Yoon Jae-jung, and we're back in this now, set 4. Shingon Kim can prove himself once again as formerly one of the best players in the world. We knew that was the case, from a while back. I mean, he's still in this blade&soul scene, trying to prove that he is still the best out there, but gonna have to do it with actual results. It's gonna be requiring his energy when it comes to the set 4 performance right here.
Yep, we'll have to see. And I was surprised that Hyung Kim came out for that singles, but he did pull his weight. I was surprised to not see Daeyeon Choi come out, but maybe he was saving his energy for this tag match to come.
So we're gonna see after losing that set 3, can GC Busan Blue bounce back here to win that one more game that they desperately need to really get the series win right here. Of course, the 92% of the fans voted that GC Busan Blue was gonna win this one against IDEPS, but definitely hasn't happened quite yet. There's still a bit of games to go. If they win this tag match, it will be all over.
Yep, the compositions have not changed. The same thing is going on for this 4th match.
We're going to get onto the game 4 to see if GC Busan Blue can close it out, or IDEPS, can they stick around and get a game 4? Let's get it on. Okay, we did get a confirmation that one player did disconnect, so we probably will get a remake until we get the situation sorted out. So the music will still be running, as usual, just trying to get into the game first. So there's no confusion for you guys, to make sure that we're still keeping aware of you, just watching the viewers, and you don't have to wait too long. We're just gonna wait for the players to reconnect.
Yeah, it won't take long.
Yeah, probably won't.
It won't take long. But you know, I also wanna, I don't know, this is kind of off topic, but Shin Kim lost a lot of weight. I haven't seen him this slim for the 4 years I've been casting Blade and Soul, and this is the slimmest that he has been. I didn't notice him at first.
Hey, looking very good, Shin Kim, but you know, so far the case has been he lost weight, but he lost skills as well. I mean, you can't lose both at the same time. You gotta get back one or the other, but I'm sure Shin Kim looking a lot better. I'm sure he wants to look a lot better on the stage when you're talking about playing the games himself, but like I said, set 1 and set 2 wasn't the games for him, and trying to bounce back to prove himself once again in set 4. This will be the all-important one here. As soon as we're ready to get into this one, we'll be ready to get in right away to see if Shin Kim can stay alive in this one.
Yeah, that is the big factor. Will Shin Kim be able to stay alive for at least a minute or two? You know, not getting deleted by the opponents. But we'll have to see if that is the possibility right after we get into our 4th match. But you know, if IDEX wants to win, they have to win 3 in a row. They already won 1 in round 3, so we'll have to see about that.
If we're ready to go, let's get into the game with game 4. Decide who's gonna win this tag match. So that was probably the longest we've heard that music.
That was.
Back into the game
almost
now.
finished that.
There we go. Hey, we never want to finish that music or anything. That's the point here. But Shin Kim now back on the field. That Warlock. Gonna be up against Hyukian once again. Gunslinger for GC with some blue.
All right, they have been trading right now. A good interfere to do a little more damage onto Hyukian, but pretty evened out right now. Jung also comes in for that interfere.
See Hyukian just trying to stay alive on this one because Shin Kim did a lot of damage, especially with Hyukian coming for that interference to put him on the wall bang.
Yep, the familiar is gone for Shin Kim. He has to kind of wait for that cooldown to come back, but the tag happens right away. He knows that he doesn't want to get deleted from this round.
Was a crucial point in set 1 when we had the first iteration of tag. And he needs 2 teams. That Hyunkyu Kim use a tag point just to get out again, and Shin Kim is right back on the field, but does a lot of damage to Jung Eun.
Yeah, that was a good tag out for Hyunkyu Kim. Shin Kim coming in, putting him into the area with Daeyoung Choi's interfere to do that damage onto Jung Eun. We'll have to see if Jung Eun will be able to stay alive, because Jung Eun is usually the person to stay all the way till the force tag happens.
The tag now, the interfere happening for the side of IDEPS. Just putting the destroyer out there with Hyunkyu Kim just trying to come out and protect Shin Kim.
Like we said, Jung Eun is just enduring this. He will get his escape back in 3 seconds.
Jung Eun just trying to get away from all things here. It's going to tag out to Yoon Jung, but it's going to take a lot of damage from Shin Kim. Onto the aerial, but just gets out just a little bit before anything happens. Daeyoung Choi now on the field with the assassin.
Yep, Shin Kim tags out. He used 2 of his tag points already. The first, not even 3 minutes, for the first 2 minutes, Shin Kim's 2 tag points are being used. So in terms of tag and interfere points, it just seems as if GC Blue is maintaining and managing their points a lot better than IDEPS right now.
Young trying to damage on Daeyoung Choi, but having a hard time to do so. Is Choi just maneuvering around. That mobile character that we know. Assassin's doing a lot of work to force him to tag out and bring Hyunkyu back in on the Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger versus the Assassin. We'll have to see if Daeyoung Choi still got it in the pocket. But this is probably his first time going up against a Gunslinger in this live tournament. I'm pretty sure he practiced a lot against it because it has been the meta recently and currently, and still going on with that, as you see Hyukian and even Hyunkyu Kim using that Gunslinger in solos.
Gunslinger has been out for quite a while in 2017, but it has not been played at all. All throughout the World Championship of last year. Yep. You can see the first season where it is implemented. Hold that thought there. We're going to put in a lot of damage, and thinking Daeyoung Choi and Hyunkyu Kim As the duo was going to put the damage onto Hyuk-yeon, but was protected in that meantime.
Dae Choi trying to make his move, but Hyuk-is just pulling away from him.
Just like this gunslinger being so mobile, across the field very quickly, just doing damage. Dae Choi just waiting for 5 more seconds to just get out of there, but takes a little bit of damage. And that will add on to the accumulation, total damage shot that we eventually will get in 6 minutes.
We'll have to see if Hyung Kim will be able to pull his weight this time around, because last tag match, Hyung Kim didn't make too much of a difference with his destroyer. See about that. Hyuk-yeon is playing very aggressive. 13 seconds until that force tag happens for Hyuk-yeon. Will he be able to do the same thing that he did last time to Hyung Kim, dazing him before he gets force tagged out so he doesn't get chased?
See him trying to just close the distance. Hyung Kim can bring Shinga Kim out as well.
Ooh,
Waiting for that to happen. Tries to do the damage onto Jung Woo-yoon there, but it's very little of him. Jung Woo-yoon's gonna be able to strike right back. You see, Dae Choi coming right at, had to use the stealth right away to get out of there.
Yep. Here we go. Not pulling him out of stealth that all, unfortunately for Jung Woo-yoon. Dae Choi still stays in stealth. There we go. Making his move.
See Jung Woo-yoon trying to move in there. With the landmine, just trying to just make sure what they have is gonna be working, but taking a lot of damage. Dae Choi is gonna be coming up from the ruthless effort coming in from Hyuk-yeon from the gunslinger.
Yep, we do have 2 tags for Dae Choi. Very low on health, but the other 2 members don't have tags, so he wants to stay out as long as possible until the 3-minute mark.
Okay, the ultimate's gonna be coming in, but it's not gonna be leading to any type of damage. Dae Choi has to be careful though. Still has that tag point that he's finally gonna use. Bring Shinga Kim back out. See so much tag points being used for the side of IDEPS. Dae Choi having 1 more tag available where Blue feels relatively more comfortable in that instance.
Yep, Shinga Kim has to stay out for 1:30, but after that 1:30, it'll hit the 3-minute mark, which will give the interference for either side. So we'll see if he's able to stay alive until the end without any help from his teammates.
The interference will come back, but the tag points will never come back until the game ends. And this means that Shinga Kim, along with Hyung Kim, has to be careful. Long time they're gonna be staying out. Stay alive as long as they can. We're reaching the 4-minute mark. 1 more minute until we get that 1 more interfere points for everyone on the field here.
Yep, Shinga Kim is out of both escapes for at least 25 seconds. We'll have to see if GC Busan Blue will be able to make a move here before the 3-minute mark, like you mentioned, before they get that interfere points.
Shinga Kim taking it easy here. Use the ultimate on the Familiar to destroy it immediately. That will mean the last tag point will be used to bring Hyuk-yeon back out. Shinga Kim still has to survive for 30 more seconds. Can he do that though with Jung Woo-yoon just trying to make the disruption? Oh, but immediate destroying of Shinga Kim. How about Gunslinger doing so much damage? He couldn't hold on, and Dae Choi looking like he's gonna go down once again. That's gonna be him going down to Hyuk-yeon, and Hyuk-yeon having a double kill all to himself. Just looking for the 3rd one with the Destroyer being his last target here.
Yeah, Hyuk-yeon with the Gunslinger doing so much damage that instant burst damage from that Gunslinger is just, it just deletes a character, and Shinga Kim and Dae Choi, that they definitely know what it tastes like.
Oh, but the ultimate coming from Destroyer doing a pretty good job, but Jung Woo-yoon just gets out of there. But like I said, this is important to mention that Gunslingers are quite OP when given the opportunity, and you saw it right there. 80% health from Shinga Kim does not matter, but Hyung Kim is gonna have a hard time to destroy at that as well. Not even gonna last for the TKO to happen. It's gonna be about the Force Master Jung Woo-yoon finishing it off with items going down to GC Busan Blue India.
Yep, so this was the last game because GC Busan Blue won. Best out of 5 is the first team to obtain 3 points as the winner, and GC Busan did that. So now they will be moving on to the winners round. That we'll have to see who wins against the next matchup, Haho versus GC Busan Red.
Other 2 teams waiting on the line here. You see GC Busan Blue on the winning end here. We thought they would have just taken it in set 3, but we saw the valiant comeback from Hyung Kim on that Gunslinger. So Gunslinger has not lost a single game throughout today's matches, and just shows how strong it is still after a few months of balance. It has been going back and forth here. Gunslingers are very, very good still, as long as you can utilize it correctly.
Yep. So I don't know, Hyungyu Kim not having any interfere points, not having any tag points as well for items cost them the game. But right now, ooh, that moment, like split second, it just deletes Shin Kim, and then Daeyoung Choi comes in.
Nothing.
The aerial.
Nothing you can do when you have damage in the aerial. You have no other ally to protect you from that instance. That will be an easy win going over to GC Busan Blue. So that 92%, the win prediction for this team right here was no fluke, and it was really not a troll pick as you were talking about for the fans. They definitely knew the whereabouts, the information, the data of how this team compares to the other. And right now for INET, it is a bit of a disappointment with that strong roster they have, with a strong lineup of really talented players. They cannot even put up a matchup, even a close fight against GC Busan Blue here. Of course, the 2017 World Champion with a different roster. It's still looking very, very strong as they approach 2018.
Yeah, like you said, the fan votes are fan votes, but they probably follow these players a lot more than we personally do, because some of them are in their clans as well, so they definitely know how things have been changing, what's been going on with teams. So, you know, these fan votes are pretty...
So that's going to be that for the game between GC Busan Blue and INES. We're going to return after a short break to come back for the second series.
안녕하세요. 블레이드&소울의 아트 디렉터 정영채입니다. 블레이드&소울은 대대적인 그래픽 개선 작업을 준비하고 있습니다. 블레이드&소울은 PC MMORPG 중에 높은 수준의 그래픽으로 평가되고 있는데요. 여기에 그치지 않고 최고 수준의 그래픽으로 서비스하기 위해서 언리얼 엔진 4로 컨버팅을 진행하고 있습니다. 언리얼 4는 기존의 언리얼 3보다 렌더링 속도가 향상되고 보다 사실적인 라이팅이 가능하게 되었습니다. 그리고 물리 베이스의 렌더링으로 보다 깊이감 있고 안정감 있는 화면을 제공할 수 있게 되었습니다. 엔진 컨버팅을 통해 블레이드&소울만의 캐릭터의 스타일은 최대한 유지하면서 보다 완성도 높은 그래픽으로 만드는 것을 목표로 하고 있습니다. 엔진 업데이트 이후의 컨텐츠들은 엔진의 성능을 최대한 살려 높은 퀄리티로 제공할 예정입니다. 신규로 제작되는 몬스터들은 디테일이 살아있고 생동감이 넘치도록 제작이 될 예정입니다. 엔진 컨버팅을 통해서 더 쾌적하고 생동감 넘치는 플레이를 할 수 있도록 노력할 예정이니 많은 기대 부탁드리겠습니다.
안녕하세요. 블레이드&소울 리드게임 디자인을 맡고 있는 이상희입니다. 이번에는 향후 서비스 방향 공개에 맞춰서 새로운 재미를 느낄 수 있는 생활형 컨텐츠를 소개해드리고자 합니다. 생활형 컨텐츠는 전투 외에도 잠시 여유를 가지고 즐길 수 있는 컨텐츠도 만들어 보자는 목표로 시작되었습니다. 생활형 컨텐츠의 주요 재미는 수집과 커뮤니케이션을 꼽을 수 있습니다. 잠시 걸음을 멈추고 느긋하게 대화를 하면 낚시를 즐겨도 되고 필드 여기저기를 돌아다니면서 수집품을 모아도 됩니다. 모은 수집품은 다른 물품으로 교환도 할 수 있고 친구들과 함께 즐기면서 여러분들만의 이야기를 만들 수 있습니다. 전투에서 잠시 벗어나 기분 전환할 수 있는 생활형 콘텐츠를 틈틈이 업데이트할 계획입니다.
안녕하세요. 블레이드&소울 스토리 디렉터 이차선입니다. 지금까지 진행된 블레이드&소울의 스토리의 큰 전환점이 될 2018년도 스토리에 대해서 이야기해드리고자 합니다. 불소는 막과 장으로 이루어져 있지만 내부적으로는 큰 흐름으로서 시즌을 가지고 있는데요. 시작과 함께 공개되었던 시즌1은 이미 아시다시피 1막에서 4막까지로 구성되어 있습니다. 막내가 자신의 사부를 죽인 진서연을 쫓아 복수하려다가 용서하는 것이 큰 이야기의 틀이었죠. 현재 진행되고 있는 시즌2는 시즌1에서 진서연을 그렇게 행동하게 했던 배우, 즉 무심의 이야기로 구성되어 있는데요. 시즌1에서 진서연이 열려고 했던 게 흑룡의 천명제였다면 무신이 열려고 하는 것은 진짜 천명제, 즉 성계의 문을 여는 천명제입니다. 시즌2가 되면서 무신은 본격적으로 행동하기 시작했는데요. 오막에서는 유란을 제물처럼 주리아에게 보내 자신의 군대를 양성했고, 8막을 통해 부서진 귀천 건물을 모두 복원했으며 결국 9막에서는 천명제를 열고 성계를 향하게 되었습니다. 앞으로 시즌2는 2막 정도가 더 진행되리라 예상하고 있는데요. 여기서는 어째서 무신이 성계에 가려고 했었는지 무신에 관해 숨겨진 진실과 이야기가 전개될 예정입니다. 항상 최고의 이야기를 전달드리기 위해서 노력하고 있으니 앞으로도 블레이드 앤 소울 스토리에 많은 관심을 가지고 지켜봐 주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
리듬으로 좀 이렇게 격파를 쳐야 잘 되는지
비교를 해드려야죠. 딱 숟가락 박자로. 자, 평파는 따닥 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 들으셨죠 이제?
네네.
자,
다시 한 번 더.
자, 다 같이 지금 이 방송을 보시면서 한번 해보십시오. 입으로 따닥 따닥 따닥. 이건 평타 파괴.
그렇죠.
아시겠죠 이제? 격파 갑니다. 격파 격파 격파. 오케이? 격파 격파 격파.
좀 이걸 비교적으로.
아 잠깐만. 이게 야 외노랑 격파랑 말만 바뀌어서 똑같은 거 아니야? 격파 외노 격파 격파 뭐가 달라? 손바닥이 지금 빨간데 제가 이게 답답해서 제가 너무 세게 친 것 같습니다. 평파
여기를 때려봐요.
여기를 한번 때려볼게요. 평파.
아 위를 때려 위를.
평파.
아 들고.
들고 평파. 이게 평파. 평파.
네.
너무 느린 것 같은데?
아, 이 정도가 맞아요. 평파. 이게 평파입니다. 평파. 평파. 격파 보여드릴게요. 격파. 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 오케이? 이해하셨습니까? 자, 평파. 소리 잘 들어보십시오, 이제. 마우스 세게 누르고 있습니다. 이거는 평파고
네.
격파 갑니다, 이제. 이게 격파.
그냥 빨리 들으는 거 아니야?
절대 아닙니다. 아니,
근데 이게 역사분들은 좀 공감을 하실 거예요. 상당히 이게 쉽지가 않아요. 격파는 정말.
알겠습니다. 어쨌든
뛰어놓으면 아직 탈출이 있어야 되는데 장태주 선수 탈출이 있고요. 양쪽 다 노리고 있었어요. 놀 수가 있었고 잘 먹고 눈신 벗겨졌습니다. 샤프패치 걸리면 끝이에요. 샤프패치 걸리면 끝이에요. 마무리 달리기 들어가라. 박진유에게 완벽한 승리. 아, 샤프패치 인간 상공인가.
저희는 하하호호 팀의 김재유. 저희는 하하호호 팀의 김재유.
잠깐만, 이게 이름 못 말하겠노.
저희는 하하호호 팀의 김재유,
박진유, 서정호입니다.
안녕하세요. 저희는 GC 부산 레드의 한준호,
최성진,
김윤태입니다. 너무 빠른 것 같은데요.
맞지? 형이 성격이 좀 급해.
한 템포만 늦게
안다. 가져와.
작년에는 그 GC 부산 블루로 했었는데 준호 형하고 성진이 형이 같이 하자 해서
여러 가지의 클래스를 잘할 수 있는 선수가 필요했었거든요. 진이 형이랑 이제 많은 팀을 해봤고 진짜 잘하는 형인데 멘탈이 많이 약하세요.
성적도 좀 저조했었고 작년 시즌 2를 끝으로 대회를 안 나가려고 마음을 먹었었는데 이분이 옛날에 제가 개인 방송 같은 거 할 때 회장님이셨거든요. 회장님이 또 하자 하면 또 해야 되니까.
예선을 치러보니까 역시 너무 잘하시고
보조만 해주면 진이 형이 다 할 것 같은 순차감이 있는.
아름답다.
내가 볼 때 박진우가 공인이었는데.
그렇지. 그런 면이 없지 않아 있어.
그래 손 떤다 이거.
잘 보면 손을 막 이렇게 버들버들 떨어요.
다다다다다.
그 구멍이 한 명 있거든요. 구멍이 있는 성진이를
구멍이 있다고. 구멍이 맞거든 근데 내가.
아니 할 말이 없다 해요 그냥.
준호야, 네가 진유도 있었고 내도 있었잖아. 누가 구멍인데 솔직히.
그러면 안 돼 형.
왜?
이러면 또 전화 온다니까 나한테. 이거는 나가면 안 돼. 진용 삐져.
삐지래라. 누가 구멍인지 꼭 한번 가려봅시다. 박진유 씨. 개인전 1세트다. 1세트 들어온나? 아 근데 그 진유 옆에 있는 오른팔 왼팔이랑 제 옆에 있는 오른팔 왼팔이랑 금덩어리랑 동덩어리 비슷하게 그런 느낌이거든요.
그래도 링검사 직업에서 무난한 건 역사 최성진 선수 아닐까 싶습니다.
싱글로도 질 것 같은데.
랜덤 매치가 생겼는데 태그가 나오든 개인전이 나오든 저희가 이길 수 있다고 생각하고 최선을 다해서 하겠습니다.
저희는 이제 기본 베이스가 달라요. 탄탄하다고 해야 되나?
아
왜?
에반데 제가 블루팀에 있었을 때보다는 이제 더 좋은 성적을 낼 수는 없어요.
무슨 소리야?
작년에 우승, 준우승 이게 말이 돼?
우승 하면 되잖아.
아니야, 그건 힘들어.
임신 상태가 글러먹었네.
항상 형 말했던 패기가 중요하다고.
그냥 다시 할게요. 작년보다 이제 더 좋은 성적을 내기는 낼 수 있을까요?
까요.
즐겜 마인드이기 때문에 어디서 져도 상관없습니다.
8등하면 되죠. 그게 욕심이 없어가지고.
아 진짜 진영만 있으면 끝까지 올라갈 수 있죠.
아름답다.
Welcome back, guys, and really hearing for the interview from both these two teams. How this team really emphasizing good energy, positive vibes, and just a lot of laughter. Anthony Jung Sung, JU Kim, and Jinyu Park is now back on the Korean Blade and Soul scene. Has kind of already mentioned his retirement.
Yeah.
Thought that was going to be a thing, but kind of like Michael Jordan back in the day, he's going to make his return. Of course, we saw what Michael Jordan did after his retirement and coming back. Hope that doesn't happen in Jinyu Park. Really want the best for this guy. Once a legendary assassin, one of the best in the world. But that has been the case a few years back, and now we're back in 2018. How does Jinyu Park look now? That's going to be the question we want to ask.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually kind of surprised, but I can't disagree with your comparing Jinyu Park with Michael Jordan, but Jinyu Park's retirement timing was perfect, I think, personally. When he retired, he performed so well in the previous seasons, previous tournaments, and then he just retired, and everybody just remembers him as the God Assassin. But he comes back here now. We'll see if he will, keep that name for himself.
It's a strong opponent. Team to go up against in the very first game of the season. It's going to be against GC Busan Red, looking like the favorites. This tournament altogether. Yuntae joining in from GC Busan Blue as a champion of basically almost every single season that we played in last year's Blade and Soul. We talk about GC Busan Blue winning out first, and second in Korea finals, and even first in the World Championship. This team was undoubtedly the best team in the world, and they sent over Yuntae back to their sister team with GC Busan Red to join forces with obviously Juno Han and Sungmin Choi. We all know these guys as the best in their field. Sungmin Choi, the World Destroyer. Can never forget about this guy. And what does that really bring? What does that bring with Yuntae on the line and now? What does that add into the composition that we know with Juno Han. Sung Choi is so familiar with that.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because Yunta-sun, it seems as if he will be on the gunslinger. So, Yunta-sun being those having the taste of winning so many times last year, we'll see if he's able to carry that momentum for his sister team, GC Busan Red, now being his team for this year, 2018 Blade and Soul.
Match prediction for this game 2 here. Wow. Okay. Not even 92, 97% prediction that the GC Busan Red is going to win over Haha Ho-Ho. And man, that's a mouthful if I've ever seen one. And 97% with 3% of the entire fans voting that Haha might just win the game.
Yeah, maybe out of if this vote was out of 100 people, maybe these 3 voted for themselves.
Hey.
No, I'm just saying. But we'll have to see. I'm curious about how Jinyu Park will do with his 2 supports. As you saw in the VCR, the 2 teammates on Jinyu Park's side was kind of talking as if, as long as we support Jinyu, he will carry us to maybe even to the finals.
I mean, Jae Kim is going to be playing the Warlock with Jung Woo-seo is going to be playing the Blade Dancer. Very much 2 support for the Assassin. That's going to be putting up most of the damage for this team. And we'll get straight a vision from there to see, what that will bring to us, because we're going to start off with a tag, as we always do, with set 1. Jinyu Park and his boys. Can they get it done? GC Busan Red still bringing out a very, very strong, possibly the strongest roster we have in the tournament with Sungjin Choi, Juno Han, and Yoon Tae-sun. And man, that's really a strong roster that we want to go with. And we're trying to see, whether we can get into the game very, very soon, because this is going to be an exciting one to see ending and to see, how strong this actually translates into results. On paper, yes, it looks very strong, but we saw that IDEPS with very strong players themselves didn't perform as well. So GC Busan Red, are we going to get to see possibly the best team in all of Korea in 2018?
Yeah, we'll have to see about that, because last year's GC Busan Blue, I don't know if you remember Season 1 and Season 2, I was talking as if, GC Busan Blue, looking at individual players, I didn't expect them to do that well. Maybe a win or 2, or maybe a second place, but them winning three series and second place in the Korea finals, that just surprised me. And last year's team was Coup d'etat, actually, that I thought was one of the stronger teams. But this time around, this year, GC Busan Red, they might be last year's GC Busan Blue, like Joe said, but they might also turn out to be like last year's Coup d'etat. Having the strong team, having the strong composition, having the strong members, but not performing as well as, what we expect.
Okay, so we're back on our screen just to see. There is an headset issue from one of the players. And
for Sungjin Choi.
This means that we need to just take some time to make sure everything is sorted out. Of course, you do need to hear the sounds, obviously, when you're playing Blade and Soul. Without sounds, you're playing at an extreme handicap.
Yeah, you gotta hear the ho-has, of course, coming from the Warlocks. That just gives it all. Ho-ha! You have to hear that.
We'll definitely hear that along with every other sound. Of course, it's really important for Sungjin Choi to get all the audio input in trying to win out the games. Of course, the GC Busan Red seeming like they are the favorites, according to the fans, obviously, who has been keeping track. Like you said, they have had close relationship with all the players there, and they know exactly their whereabouts and their current form in terms of how well they've been performing recently in times. And we're going to see if GC Busan Red can follow up to the hype and really bring us the result. That's going to be really a straightforward path to their victory. But once again, we're looking at Haha Ho. It's an interesting team. It's going to be mostly based around Jinyu Park and the other 2 players with Jung Woo-seo and Jae Kim. They're going to be there to support him to make him a better player all in all. But this team looking like a lot of question marks as to how strong they will actually be. We're going to soon find out with the set 1 coming up.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, Jinyu Park actually pulled off a 3v1 in the World Championships. So maybe, Jae Kim and Jung Woo-seo just watch that clip over and over again and thinking, yeah, we can allow him to do that 3v1 again if we support him. But if that's the case and that's the reason why they brought in Jinyu Park on their team, that might be a mistake, because that was once in a lifetime kind of thing, pulling off a 3v1 in the World Championships. But Jinyu Park is the focus of Haha Ho Ho. But on GC Busan Red, all 3 members, they definitely have the experience. All 3 of them are very well known. But Yoon Tae-sun being on the gunslinger, he's been the character, he's been the person, the player last year that kind of swapped in with different kind of classes every other round to show that he was able to play all the listed characters that he put down. and did not perform too well with the assassin, if I remember correctly. So we were talking like, you know, Yuntae-san, just don't bring out the assassin, please. But we'll see if this gunslinger will, you know, show us a different kind of meta for Yuntae-san.
And Yuntae-san, you know, always has been a versatility player when he talks about multiple classes being able to play very, very well. Even the assassin, at times, it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't always mention that out, but the gunslinger is going to be the meta that's really feels as a necessity for all the teams out there, and just going to bring him over from their sister team in Junohan. Obviously, Sungjin Choi. These two players have already proven themselves time and time again that they are basically one of the best in their own respective classes, and bringing now this versatility player with Yuntae-san, now going to be primarily focusing on the gunslinger, probably will believe that they will just only add on to the already success that GC Busan Red already had. Of course, you talk about GC Busan Blue being the only stronger team. GC Busan Red seeming like they want to become the better team, become possibly the best team in the world.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that, but the music has changed, and we'll get into the first round of this second series. Let's get it on.
But we got another disconnect. So
psych.
So we're gonna have another. Yeah, we're gonna have another pause and just another remake.
Yep.
We apologize for the inconvenience. Of course, we're trying to get into the game just as much as you guys want to get into the game here, and
yeah, we don't want game resets during the game. So you know, if we're gonna have a reset or remake, I'd rather have it before the game actually starts.
Sure.
To be honest, it'll be best if we didn't have any remakes at all. But you know, if there's going to be a remake, it's better before than in the middle. But we'll have to see, like we said, if Yuntae-san will be able to show what a gunslinger is, because Hyuk-Ki-an definitely showed how a gunslinger should be played in a tag team, as well as Hyung-Yu Kim in the singles. Even though IDEPS did lose out, Hyung-Yu Kim did show us that the gunslinger is definitely formidable in the singles as well. So we'll have to see what Yuntae-san could bring for us.
And another record we're going to keep track is whether Gunslinger will actually lose a game, because we've seen in the last series it hasn't lost a single game from that tag match, even to the singles. We're just trying to see, you know, how they do. I think we're almost getting ready, guys, to get into the game finally. I think we're just going to get in. The first step between Hao and GC Busan Red for the first game. Finally, we're in ending. We're finally ready to go. Jinyu Park going to start us off with the assassin. Can he bring the old tricks? Oh, okay, just going to use a tag on the first second of the game.
Okay. Yeah, Jinyu Park just getting out, coming out and tagging out. Maybe the lineup was wrong. I don't know what happened, but Jae-Yu Kim is out on the Warlock right now. We'll see if he will be able to create opportunities for Jinyu Park to interfere in and do some damage onto Yuntae-san that is currently out for GC Busan Red.
Son had to use his escape to get out of that stun, but had Junohan come in for the interview, give the time distortion back, get back his cooldown, and be fine to stay along that 1 minute mark. Son wants to stick around to get that force tag if necessary.
Yep. Jae-Yu Kim is familiar, almost gone, and Yuntae-san's definitely waiting for that timing to make his move. There we go. Very slowly he goes close. Gets in range to start his damage. There we go. The back roll happens, as well as that escape for Jae-Yu Kim.
Jae-Yu Kim is going to have to force use all those escape opportunities out there, and that probably will get him into a dangerous situation if he can't protect himself here. He's going to a daze once again. He's going to just get right back out and going to just tag out. Jungle Cell getting out on the Blade Dancer here.
Yeah, we are seeing 2 tag points being used by Hahahoho already, and you know, Jinyu Park's tag also kind of being questionable, but you know, using so many tag points early on, it's not going to be good for you as the time goes on. There's still 8 minutes left, and you don't get any tag points back. Ooh, but that chase forces Junohan to use his escape right away.
Very good chase there, very reactive there from the Blade Dancer of Jungle Cell. So get him on the grab there. Phantom grip. Lead to any damage, but it's going to be Junohan just trying to get out there, but putting a lot of damage now with the Warlock in. Wow, what a damage that you can do with the Warlock and the combo right there with the interfere. And that is going to be Jungle Cell going down as the first man for this game in this first set here.
Yeah, the Warlock Airborne with the Gunslinger interfere is just going to just the 2 classes that can do the burst damage, and another one.
Junohan just taking the game single-handedly. Jae Kim, is he going to be able to survive here? That's the question we want to ask.
Yeah, and you know, if all the supports die, what is Junior Park going to do by himself? You're supposed to support him. That means stay alive and support Junior Park, but when they tag out, Junior Park comes out. We'll see if he's still got it.
This might be the fastest tag finish we might have seen in a very long time. See Junior Park just trying to throw the landmine to put in damage, but he knows how far he's behind it. We might just see the end of Junior Park here. One more damage all to do it, but barely gets out with that stealth there.
Yeah, the Bombard, you know, trying to get in that Bombard combo. Punished him to probably 1% health right now, and one tick.
Sungjae Choi, he just needs one hit. One hit, and that's going to be able to do it. That's going to be him knocking him down. Junior Park's going to be out there. Jae Kim's going to come back out and try to just hold on as much as he can, but we know how much of a disadvantage they're at the moment with Ha-Ho.
Yeah, a Warlock pulling off a 3v1. We haven't seen that yet. And into the aerial, a clean finish.
Wow. Man, that just ended in 3 minutes or so, and of course we had a little bit of delay that prolonged the beginning of this match, but the actual game itself was pretty quickly done by GC Busan Red.
Yep, and you know, GC Busan Red, like we were talking about before, you know, whether they may be this year's strongest team, or they may be, you know, like a coup d'etat, where you have the strong players, but you don't perform as well. But for now, after this first tag match, it shows that, at least to Ha-Ha-Ho-Ho, GC Busan Red is a super strong team that seems as if it's, you know, it'll be very hard to beat them in at least the tag matches.
And I like how the GC Busan Red has a definite characteristic of, you know, the utility of each player. Obviously, Juno Han, you know, coming in as the most of the damage dealing, and the Gunslinger still just adding to the damage with that interference you saw right there. That was mostly coming in from the Gunslinger and the Warlock all together with the, man, that's a lot of damage. And you saw what happened on that second time around. Jae Kim couldn't stick around for very, very long.
Yeah, and this is what happens. You know, we saw a lot of good interference from Yuntae-sun as well as Sungjae Choi, but Juno Han did so much damage and, you know, created so many opportunities for his teammates that I only remember what Juno Han did. But it was, you know, it did take part with Sungjae Choi and Yuntae-sun as well.
Really showing, you know, what they're really planning for the rest of the year. Because GC Busan Red looking like a very, very strong team at the moment. Singles, gonna tell us the better story of how well these players are prepared individually. We're gonna see Juno Han make his appearance, or we're gonna see even, you know, Yuntae-sun trying to come out with the Gunslinger. We've seen that as a very strong class being used for a 1v1. But we're gonna see who the players will be selected for both of these teams.
Yeah, it seems, you know, as if the two support, quote-unquote, support guys on the left are watching Junior Park kind of prepare. So I want to assume that it's going to be Junior Park for Ha-Ha-Ho, but we'll have to see who comes out for the GC Busan Red.
We'll get an indication now of who's going to make the appearance for this next singles here, set 2, after losing game 1. Ha-Ho wants to come back stronger, and it will be Junior Park, as you mentioned, but Sungjae Choi, wow. The Destroyer versus Assassin, we know how that goes. It's not happy times for the Destroyer. We know the Assassin, if done correctly, should win this game very, very easily there, but Sungjae Choi, he's done the most difficult things in the past, and I think beating out Junior Park is going to be the challenge that he was actually throwing out. He said in the interview that, you know, he's ready to face on Junior Park and just ready to get at me. Come ready at me, and I think it's going to be the actual challenge accepted by Junior Park as we get Ha-Ho versus GC Busan Red in this game 2. See who's going to make the advantage a little bit bigger as we get onto the next match here. Talked about in the interview, Junior Park notifying that Sungjae Choi was the weakest link Yep. GC Busan Red. Choi thought the same. His opponents. Junior Park might be the weakest link on that team, but here's a chance to prove it now for both of these sides. Who the weakest player is going to be here.
We'll have to see, because, you know, we talk about who's going to be the weakest player, but these two players are definitely the strongest, or have been the strongest in the past. But, you know, may constantly kind of been brought down with Junior Park being, you know, retired for a whole year. We'll see if he's able to carry his weight, because this matchup actually a couple of years ago, it actually happened, and Sungjin Choi got beaten many times.
I mean, Assassins are just so good against the Destroyer. We've seen many instances where it worked out so well. A tab escape, just trying to put in the damage there. It's going to force out the stealth.
No escape. No escape for Sungjin Choi. He's just going to take full damage. And once again, it seems as if Junior Park will just not finish him with that Searing Strike, negating some damage, Sungjin Choi.
Okay, Sungjin Choi still seeing that Junior Park still has the touch. It's not gone from the once the legendary assassin we knew of Junior Park. Sungjin Choi now looking at his face, very entertaining there. See what that means though. Sungjin Choi, can he stick around for a little bit longer? Let's have this game's coming back very, very soon now, so will be a lot more mobile. The way they can move around.
This gives come back for both sides. See the knockdown, the back roll chase does not. The Shadow Slash doesn't connect. Sungjin Choi is still hanging in there.
Choi just trying to stick around while Junior Park just trying to finish him off here. Be careful with that stun that comes through. The stealth is not going to be coming through right away. So just continue on the damage. How long can this last though? Finally the stealth is used from Junior Park after taking about 50% damage. Still much more healthier than his opponent with Sungjin Choi.
Yeah, 10 seconds until that Lotus of Escape comes back for Junior Park. 1 CC before that, he might actually die. So we'll have to see if Sungjin Choi will kind of play that. Right, there we go with the stun. Lotus of Flower, Lotus of Escape is not put down. This might be it.
Oh, the Lotus is not. The Lotus is not out, and that's going to be Sungjin Choi coming back from a 20% health and from a 100% deficit, and he's going to get the miraculous win over the Assassin of Junior Park. You are the weakest link.
Wow, so Sungjin Choi actually is telling Junior Park a message, sending him a message saying, yes, you shouldn't have retired for that year. You should have stayed intact or stayed retired. It's kind of like the message that Sungjin Choi is saying, because, you know, he was, like you said, at like 20% health, and he still came back at Junior Park.
He didn't have the Lotus Junior Park. I mean, he had the cooldown back, but after using that stealth, all he had to do is just put down the flower. Yeah. Plant that pretty flower down on the ground.
The flower was actually like 2 seconds still on cooldown when Sungjin Choi CC'd him. Yeah, so you can't put down that flower while you're CC. So it, you know, Sungjin Choi, like I said, is he going to do it? Is he going to make his move? And he actually did at the last second. Well, I'm pretty sure the replay will show it.
But it always feels like the assassin always has two escapes out of it. But
2 seconds.
2 seconds. You saw it exactly right. And we always just kind of misconcepts to us that that always in assassin you always have the 2 escapes. So unless you have 2 escapes, you're gonna be fine. But we always have to realize that Lotus escape, the weaker escape, you have to plant down the flower, and you couldn't do that when your Lotus escape was still on cooldown. Junior Park, it's gonna go down from 100 to 0. You're talking about this instance where Sungjin Choi was really 20% down for most of that game there.
Yeah, well, you know, if Sungjin Choi made his move 2 seconds later, Junior Park would have had the flower down and would have been able to escape out of that ram, but that split-second decisions that's being made, and it's
gonna be a is that a tag? It's gonna be a tag. Man, these roulettes are like, oh man.
But yep, it will be a tag match.
Glad it has nothing to do with my money. I mean, just if that roulette was going back and forth between, man, that could have been a lot of heart cringer right there. But yeah, we will go to a tag match for this round 3. So all 3 players will be back out. Are we gonna see the same thing we saw in set 1, where it was a quick finish, about 3 minutes it took out of the 10 minutes allowed for GC Busan Red to finish off every one of the 3 members of Ha Ha Ho.
Yep.
Talking about the revival of the assassin right there, coming from the fan from Junior Park.
We'll have to see if Ha Ha Ho will be able to defend in this 3rd round. Seeing set 1 and set 2, you know, I could predict just from, you know, the facts that are out there on the screen that they might have a little bit of a hard time against GC Busan Red. And also, even if they do lose out today, we will have the losers match next week coming up So, just in case you guys are fans of certain players that are, that have lost today, don't lose your hopes.
Let's see what the composition will be brought out here. Nothing changing now, because we're going to see the Blade Dancer, Warlock, Assassin for Haho, and of course the same classic Destroyer, Warlock, and now the Gunslinger is going to be definitely a part of that classic in 2018. It's going to be brought down about this team again. See if they can just replicate that performance they showed in set 1 and see if they can do it again in set 3 in this random match. So we're going to get the tag, possibly decide whether GC Busan Red can finish us off here, or Haho, can they stick around here?
Yeah, it's a lot more clean with the changed or the new point system rather. Everything being worth 1 point. Like it's so clean and it's straightforward. Whether it be a tag or a single, your team has to be well prepared for both in order for you to get a clean win. A three win straight. We'll see if that will be able to happen.
I think we're ready to get into this one with set 3, possibly the last game between these two teams. GC Busan Red can close it out right here by getting this tag match win. Ahoho has to make sure they retain in this one. Yeah. Just by winning one more game, you have to win so many more, but this is going to be the beginning of this. Let's get into the match to see what the match will have for us. Let's begin the game now. Ahoho, 0 wins on the board. GC Busan Red has 2, meaning that only 1 more is needed for them to clinch out the series right here.
Yep. We do see Junior Park out first. He's not tagging out like he did before, right after. Maybe he fast finger that tag in the first round, but we'll have to see if he will make a difference for his team this time around.
Junior Park getting a better Yuntason this time around. On the webbing, trying to get the damage on, but you see the Yuntason with that Gunslinger able to escape stealthily right there. And even gonna bring out the interfere coming from Juno Han to get that time distortion right back.
Yep. Junior Park gets CC'd into the aerial. Defensive interfere coming in.
Just gonna be wasting that time though. 5 seconds, you can't do anything when the Gunslinger just moving across the field like that. And trying to bring Jungwoo-sung on the Blade Dancer to do something. But he's still Junior Park taking so much damage from Yuntason's poke damage from afar.
Yeah, Junior Park, I don't know. When he's on the Assassin, he was the class of mobility, but this time around, Gunslinger coming out, contesting the Assassin class.
Oh. Junior Park literally could do nothing there. He had to tag out. And Jayu came just trying to come back in on that Warlock, trying to just counter Yuntason on the Gunslinger.
Yep, Sanctum was put down. Yuntason will just buy time a little bit, getting away from the Warlock. After the Sanctum goes down, they'll probably make their moves. Here we go.
Yuntason just rushing in here. Wait, 8 more seconds. And he's going to be force tagged down, just trying to put in as much damage before he does go out. And it's going to be done very, very nicely here. Another defensive interfere. But Junior Park was trying to go for the damage there. And almost getting the stun up. That will force out the escape from Juno Han, from the Warlock here.
Ooh, the time distortion is put down. It is a mirror, and when you see a Warlock mirror, it's very dull at times. But this time around, they are trading some damage. And Jayu Kim's familiar gets down super fast.
So the Gunslinger coming for the interfere to destroy the familiar. Now it's going to be a chance for Juno Han to finish it off here. Junior Park just kind of coming back here with that tag being used by Jayu Kim.
Let's see what happens here. Junior Park has to make a difference because he is sole DPS that he's being supported by 2 members, but his health is so low right now.
And all the escapes gone now. Junior Park, I think he has to use another tag point, which he does. Final tag point, just to get out of there with having no escapes. And the Jungwoo-sung back out on the field. Yuntason's going to be back out as well. It's going to be a Blade Dancer versus Gunslinger. That thing has not gone so well last time around when they faced each other.
Yeah, it's if you look at the health bar, it kind of tells a story where GC Busan Red is just slowly chipping down on that damage.
That was a close one right there. Saw the stun coming through. Just getting out, but Detroit comes back out on the field with that tag point being used by Yuntason. Put him onto the area and puts a lot of damage with that Gunslinger interfere. Very nicely done there.
Jungwoo was definitely put on the spot right there. Jayu Kim coming out once again. He's blocking everything with that quill. Does get grabbed.
Yeah, just throw him up in the air here. Fine for now. Jayu Kim has to use his tab escape to get out and has to even use a back roll. Just trying to get away more than trying to attack himself. So all the escapes gone now. Might have just used the last tag point here. JK doesn't look very safe from his predicament right here.
And there's still 6 minutes left and so many points have been used by Hao. We'll see if they will be able to endure this fight. Because if they lose, they are going to lose this bracket, but the damage coming in.
That's a lot of damage, and that's going to be finishing him off, and JK is going to go down from Yuntae's interference.
Yeah.
Junohan, once he gets his opponent up in the air, just calls in, summons the Gunslinger, and that's going to do all the damage that you need to finish off a player. Here we go at this very similar situation once again. 4 minutes in, see the one player go down for Hao, and it's not looking good.
It's definitely not looking good, like you said, but you know, the Warlock Gunslinger aerial combo, it's not supposed to happen this often in a tag because you do have the party save skills, but you know, on Haho's and you know, not having so many tags, not having so many interferes, not gonna be able to save your teammates. Gonna get deleted.
And look at Jinyu Park out on the field, no tag point and no interfere from Jong Sung. He's gonna be all alone for 1 minute and 30 seconds with less than 50% health. Yuntae, he's very aware of this, just gonna bring Sung Choi out. Man, this is gonna be a tough situation for Hao to deal with. So stick around still for 1 minute and 15 more seconds. He's gonna have a hard time there.
Yep. Alright, so no interference on either side except for Sung Choi, who is already on the field. He does have one tag point out, but this kind of is the revenge match for Sungjin Choi, rather Jinyu Park.
Destroyer ultimate, not really connecting there.
Knockdown into the Searing Strike.
Sungjin Choi just trying to get the most out of this advantage that he does have. He's on the Lotus. Jinyu Park, be able to escape there. The Bombard just flare down on the ground. He's gonna knock him down and we'll just use the Lotus to get away. He's just gonna use a stealth right away, not even gonna go for the Lotus.
Gets pulled in. Now is the time for Lotus with the wallbang!
Wallbang's gonna be happening and still all down. Now he used the Lotus to just get out of the Jinyu Park. Now with no escapes for 25 seconds or so. So Sungjin Choi either can tag out or try to finish him himself. He'd like to do that again, being the Destroyer against the Assassin.
Alright, Jinyu Park is doing everything he can in his power to do some damage, but Sungjin Choi is just not gonna have it.
Just trying to stall time here because he knows that Jinyu Park can't do really anything in his position right here. Use that stealth once again. Be careful, Jinyu Park has 3 more seconds that he has to spare.
That leg sweep kind of questionable from Jinyu Park right there just now.
Blade Dancer with Jones back out on the field. To bring Junohan back out as well.
We'll have to see Blade Dancer versus Junohan. Doesn't matter for Junohan because he's so formidable. He's so strong with the Warlock. He has proven himself last year throughout the whole year as a Warlock, the top Warlock. Even might have been better than Shingen Kim's Warlock, who was the original Warlock player. But into the aerial, here we go. He doesn't need you to sun this time around.
No, and just having a hard time just escaping from that. Even the ultimate.
Ult will connect.
That's gonna be the ultimate connecting for the Warlock there. Gonna be knocking down the second player with Jono. Now Jinyu Park barely survived that last time around. He's gonna be back again. Looking like he's gonna have even a tougher time to survive in this instance. That will be the end with Yuntae finishing up with a bang. That will be once again GC% Red looking as dominant as ever. Gonna get that really nice win against Ha. And they're gonna just get the clean win, 3-0 on the board. And that will be the end of the series just right there.
Yeah, it was a clean win, straightforward as if you guys were watching. There was no twists except when, in the singles when Jinyu Park almost had it. But Sungjin Choi comes back and tells him and gives him a message. But now for the winners match for Group A will be coming up. GC Busan Blue versus GC Busan Red.
We saw this in the World Championship that these 2 best teams of all of Korea. See it once again, very much the opening day. blade&soul Korea 2018 Season 1. Very exciting times now ending to see which of the 2 GC Busan teams have looked really strong on both of their matches. Gonna be the better ones this time around today.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned that, the 2 strong teams that you see. This might be the early finals for us where we see the 2 stronger teams, or possibly the 2 strongest teams in Group A going at it, starting off from the first day.
Could very well see that.
Yeah.
Actually, looking at the replay of how everything went through, just absolute dominance. It really was, and saw really just the entire time Haho was just trying to defend themselves, defend their position rather than trying to win the game. And fights never really went towards their way, and they're trying to get in there, show who is boss. And GC Red is gonna get the win over Haho. Junior Park put a valiant effort, but could not get the job done, and it's gonna be coming out with a loss. And will be better luck next time for these guys, and see what they do in the next one.
Yeah, better luck next week actually for Haho as well as IDEPS. But yeah, I'm so excited finally to see the two sister teams, the two stronger teams of Group A go at it in this winners match that we'll have very soon after a commercial break. But let's hope that the two losing teams today will not get too down and just practice and show us that they could win in the next week's losers match.
And GC Busan Red not gonna have much time to rest here as a short commercial break will probably lead us on. We'll be back after a short break. Winners match coming up.
안녕하세요. 블레이드&소울의 디렉터 전승환입니다. 여러분들이 가장 궁금해하실 블레이드&소울의 신규 컨텐츠들에 대해 하나씩 소개해드리도록 하겠습니다. 우선 직업 확장 업데이트를 통해 전투 스타일 컨셉을 자유롭게 선택하여 플레이할 수 있도록 하는 것을 목표로 하고 있습니다. 주술사를 예로 들면 주술사의 경우 시공간을 찢는다는 컨셉을 더욱 강화한 왜곡술사라는 직업으로 확장이 가능한데요. 공간을 찢어 순식간에 먼 거리를 달리고 중력을 강화해 상대방을 무력화하고 또 본인 주변의 공간을 일그러뜨려 적의 공격을 무효화하는 등 내가 정말 시공간을 왜곡하여 전투하는 술사가 되었구나 라는 느낌을 줄 수 있도록 디자인하고 있습니다. 왜곡술사 이외에도 어둠의 마법을 사용하여 마령을 부리는 컨셉을 가진 마령술사나 아니면 명계의 힘을 사용해 저주를 걸어 전투를 하는 저주술사 컨셉도 기획 중에 있습니다. 또 기존 무공에서 사용하지 않았던 새로운 메커니즘으로 동작하는 무공들도 추가될 예정입니다. 이번 직업 확장이 블레이드&소울 직업 업데이트의 새로운 시작이 되었으면 합니다. 두 번째 소개해드릴 컨텐츠는 새로운 경쟁 컨텐츠 문파 거점전입니다. 문파 거점전은 거점 쟁탈을 통해 서버 내 최고의 문파를 가리는 대규모 전투 컨텐츠입니다. 거점을 차지하기 위해서는 협력과 경쟁을 해야 하고 그 과정에서 다양한 배틀 커뮤니티가 나타날 것으로 예상하고 있습니다. 문파 거점전은 일정 주기마다 정해진 시간 동안 진행되고 최종 거점을 점령한 문파가 그 거점을 차지하게 됩니다. 그리고 거점을 차지하면 다양한 혜택은 물론이고 블레이드&소울의 세상을 직접 변화시킬 수 있는 권한까지 얻게 될 것입니다. 문파 거점전은 향후 블레이드&소울을 주도할 새로운 컨텐츠가 될 것으로 생각됩니다. 많은 기대 부탁드립니다.
안녕하세요. 블레이드&소울 총괄 디렉터 임영민입니다. 저는 많은 분들이 기다리시는 신규 직업 출시에 대해 소개해드리고자 합니다. 올해 공개 예정인 신직업은 투사입니다. 투사는 대검을 사용하는 검술사 컨셉이고 게임 내에서 탱커의 역할을 수행하게 될 예정입니다. 현재 모든 직업이 수행하고 있는 역할 비율을 따져보았을 때 탱커의 역할을 수행할 수 있는 새로운 직업이 필요하다는 생각으로 출발했습니다. 다만 기존 직업처럼 사용자의 실력에 따라 효율의 편차가 크지 않도록 좀 더 많은 분들이 탱커의 역할을 수행할 수 있도록 하고 싶었습니다. 투사는 속성에 따라 확연하게 다른 형태의 전투 방식을 사용합니다. 일정 시간 동안 자신의 공격력을 크게 올려서 싸우는 광기, 성계의 힘을 이용해 빛의 검을 들고 중거리 전투를 수행할 수 있는 신념으로 나눌 수 있습니다. 6월 14일 신규 직업 투사 업데이트가 진행됩니다. 차후 업데이트될 부분에 대해 많은 기대 부탁드립니다. 지금까지 블레이드&소울의 비전이라고 할 수 있는 로드맵과 서비스 방향에 대해 소개해드렸는데요. 앞으로 더욱 발전하는 블레이드 앤 소울이 될 수 있도록 열심히 개발하고 고객분들의 의견을 귀담아 듣겠습니다. 블레이드 앤 소울 많이 사랑해 주세요. 감사합니다.
내주게 되면 호이치호타 선수도 승리 충분히 잡을 수 있거든요. 잘 찍고 유럽 최강 권사. 아이고 나 올리고요. 일본 최강 역사간의 대결이기 때문에 그전 포인트 굉장히 재밌습니다. 네. 여기서 먹으면서 계속 포인트 누적시키고 일부러 거리면서 일부러 근데 끌어왔어요. 역사가 성급한. 아이고 와. 와. 네. 기억이야. 진짜. 예상 그냥 넘어갈 수 없죠. 그러나 만나네. 공중에 띄우지도 않고 끝내요. 안톤 닐스는 오늘 되는 날인데.
프로 활성화를 하기 위해선 첫 번째 흑염룡, 결계, 개문, 경계배기, 그리고 월식이라고 SS 후방이동이라고 하죠. 이렇게 아니면 탈출기. 이거 이제 범위 안에 있으면 이제 낙인이 걸리는데 낙인을 걸면 좋은 게 이제 강탈이 활성화가 돼요. 줄사의 어떻게 보면 필살기죠, 강명결. 그걸 사용할 수 있게 되죠. 강명결이 뭐냐면은 강탈 명령 결계인데 상대방의 탈출기를 사용할 수 없게 하고 공중에 뜰 수 있는 필살기예요, 그냥. 개문으로 해서 일단 만행 띄우는 걸 빼고
그렇죠. 빼놓고
자 이제 강명결을 할게요. 자 낙인 걸고 강탈 명령
이런 식으로
명령에 기절이 걸리면서 그 타이밍 기절 걸리는 타이밍에 결계를 사용하는 건데 이거 같은 경우에는 이제 대부분 실수하는 분들이 뭐냐면은 이 타이밍이 달라요. 강명결이란 건 낙인 걸려있어서 강탈 명령을 빨리 해버리면 탈출기가 결계가 늦게 나갔죠. 기절이 뜨고 나서. 이렇게 되면 탈출기가 나가게 돼요.
그러니까 약간 강탈 후에 틈을 줘서
강탈을 사용하고 한 타임 잠깐 쉰다는 생각?
그렇죠.
잠깐 쉰다는 생각으로 천천히 해야 돼요.
보시면 이제 일단 낙인을 찍고 강탈 한탐 쉬고 이제 명령
기절이 걸리는 타이밍에 결계가 쓸 수 있게.
그렇죠.
이 타이밍에 강명결이 나갈 수 있게 해야 되는데 만약에 실수하는 분들 한 번 더 보여드리면 여기서 연습하면 쉬운 게 뭐냐면 기절이라고 크게 뜨잖아요.
그렇죠.
강탈하고 늦은 거예요. 이거 기절 먼저 뜨면은.
So we're back into the games here. Of course, we're back to the winners matches.
Yep.
See, you know, GC Busan Blue, GC Busan Red, who have had pretty dominating wins on their first match out in this opening day. Who's going to be the stronger GC Busan? That's always been a question for years now. And they've always been the good rivals and always on the top of the leagues and top of the world in terms of their talents and team competition overall. But GC Busan Blue looking like a strong team, but GC Busan Red really looking like a really strong team that we could expect high things from them for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we'll have to see because their composition is pretty similar except for the fact that Jung Yoon is on the Force Master and Seung Choi is on the Destroyer. The other two classes, Gunslinger and the Warlock, are the same. But we'll have to see, like we said, which team will be better this year, because every year they've been fighting for that top spot. And last year's GC Busan Blue came very close to beating GC Busan Blue in the finals, but unfortunately for them, they did lose. But this time around, we do have Yoon Tae-sun, previous GC Busan Blue member, on Red this time around to support their sister team.
GC Busan Red was getting a 3-0 victory, while GC Busan Blue got the 3-1 victory after suffering one loss. That random third set that came to a single. So, what that means for GC Busan Red now is that since we haven't lost a single match here, we can defeat you guys, we can defeat our sister team. And they definitely have the confidence to do so. They don't feel like they're going to lose to any team at this stage. But GC Busan Blue is still looking like a strong team. We still have yet to find out if they are the strongest team in the league, but I think this match will give us a good indication of what that will be.
Yeah, exactly. And while we were on that break, I talked to it was very brief, but I did talk to Juno Han and asked him how he feels and what happens during scrims and practices. And he tells me we win a lot more than them. But at the end, he added before he went into his booth, he's like, we never know. It's a live, it's a live tournament, and we never know, anything could happen. So, Juno Han, he kind of told me that he spoke to me in a jokingly manner. So he doesn't want to put down GC Busan Blue, his sister team, saying, oh, we're gonna win. Having that confidence is good, but we'll have to see what happens in this actual match in this winner's bracket.
That will be important. We're talking about two GC Busan teams who have always been the strong teams in all of Korea for many, many years now, and they lived up to the prestige that this team has established over the years. And still we see the two GC Busans looking like maybe the strongest teams in all of Korea and maybe in all of the world, and still very much a possibility of doing that. Last year's 2017 World Championship did end in the finals where GC Busan Blue and fight over GC Busan Red and eventually got the championship. But I think we're going to be ready to get into this first game between the two GC Busans to see who's going to be the stronger one, starting us off in game one. Here we go. Two GC Busans facing off to see who the stronger team is at this stage. Not wasting any time for the action to go on. First to see two gunslingers, both Shadow. We talk about ending just a little bit earlier. We talked about it earlier in this broadcast that Shadow gunslingers seem to be the most preferred pick by the professionals.
So we'll see which Shadow, which gunslinger will be the better one, which one will force out tags, force out interferes.
Oh, but Juno Han taking so much damage early in the game. Gets into the area. We know what that can happen with the Warlock and the Gunslinger putting so much damage. Juno Han does get back in time though. Stay alive.
Yep, the two Warlocks interfered in, but this time around, Yoon Jae-jung's Warlock and Hyuk-yeon's Gunslinger was able to almost knock out Juno Han's Warlock right here, but safely goes back in. So this time around, GC Busan Blue got that advantage off of that interfere.
You see Yoon Jae-sun trying to fight back once again. He's going to find the interfere coming from Jung Yoon on the Force Master to protect his teammate. Gonna be fine for now, but
there you go. So you have the trades going on.
Yeah.
Go there. They trade. They are trading the same skills back and forth. Nothing too much is happening. Only 23 seconds until the force tag for the both of them.
In terms of trading, Juno Han, you see him on the very low health bar. Has seen GC Busan Blue on the winning end of the initial trade we saw in this first rotation.
Yep. Let's see. There's only 5 seconds left. They kind of have this Cold War going on, but before that, we'll go all at it.
Yeah, Yoon Jae-sung took a lot of damage along with Hyuk-yeon right at the final seconds of that, and Junon comes back in, and with a very low health we mentioned earlier. How long can he survive? This is going to be the important one. Losing a Warlock early in the game
the aerial.
can never be good for you, but still putting a lot of damage on. Jung Ho-yoon taking a little bit of damage, but it's going to heal right back up a little bit as well. So Juno-han trying to put in the damage, but Jung Ho-yoon was very good on the defensive end there.
Alright, with that time distortion coming in, support from Yoon Jae-jung, allowing, giving back the skates for Jung Ho-yoon. But into the area once again.
Gonna be damaged now, but still heals himself back. But Juno-han was that dangerous situation, lad.
Wow.
Could have went down very, very easily there, but Juno-han just escapes in time.
That was actually a good interfere from Yoon Tae-sun to try to do that damage output, but it is Jung Ho-yoon.
Keon comes back in on the Gunslinger, 50% health. Trying to rival out against this Sung-Jin Choi. So we know the Destroyer has a hard time against mobile characters, and Gunslinger can be quite mobile. The way they rotate around the field.
Like I said before, you know, Gunslinger is actually contesting the Assassin for the mobility class this time around, with Gunslinger actually coming out in the Korean tournament for the first time.
There you go. See Sung-Jin Choi just trying to stay alive here. If he gets an opportunity, get close, trying to just Hyuk-yeon on the aerial could bring the Yoon out on the interfere, putting damage, but still getting harassed quite a bit there by the Gunslinger from afar.
Good dodge from the Gunslinger. There we go into the
aerial. So will that lead to anything? Of course, the interfere coming both ways.
Ooh, the wallbang. Ooh, Jung Ho-yoon taking a lot of damage from that interfere.
So Choi took a little bit of damage as well, so you have to keep that in mind. Like I said, Jung Ho-yoon took a significant amount of damage, and that will probably translate into more aggressive plays for the Force Master.
So the tag actually comes in from Hyuk-yeon, bringing out Yoon Jae-jung, also goes for that tag as well.
Need a Warlock coming out. Yoon Tae-sun just trying to come out, just going to get him onto the aerial. Be careful. Yoon Tae-sun does lose a little bit of health, but stay alive for now. But he's going to go for the aerial once again, but that's going to be him. Probably going down. A few more damage can connect it.
Wow, Sung-Jin Choi's save was perfect right there, or else Yoon Tae-sun would have died, but now Juno-han gets tagged in.
Juno-han, don't know if they wanted him out on the field. As we see, Jisoo-san red, all the HP of all three players. Very, very slim at the moment.
Yep, you get leech, you tag out, and Jung Ho-yoon is actually in here now. Sung-Jin Choi comes out as well. But does Sung-Jin Choi really want to be out when Jung Ho-yoon is out with this Force Master?
On the aerial, he's going to start putting the damage on Jung Ho-yoon. Very dangerous situation there, but Sung-Jin Choi in a dangerous situation now. Got to get the Fortress on. Make sure he stays alive, but anytime he tags out, he's going to know that the other teammates next in line is going to have a low HP to work with as well. So Yoon Tae-sun does come out.
Alright, so we do see GC Busan Red having interferes there in their pockets, both of them in the bench, but they're so low. This wrong interfere, one wrong timing could just get a double kill for GC Busan Blue.
Gunslingers trying to find it out, but you talked about earlier with Sung-Jin Choi knocked up Jung Ho-yoon in the air, and we thought the damage would come through, but great defensive efforts for GC Busan Blue to save their teammates there.
Alright, here we go. They are slowly healing up. They are utilizing their points very well, very slowly. We'll see what happens because there's still 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This is unlikely to go to a TKO.
See a knockout of one player each time.
Ooh, the back roll tech chase, forcing that escape out from Hyuk-yi.
Keon, careful here. Shaking up and down and just trying to stay alive in this one. You see the nerves just wrecking upon these players here. Tae-sun still trying to go strong after he got that good trade up against Hyuk-yeon. Hyuk-yeon stay safe for the team. Meantime, he does have one tag he can use to get Yoon Jae-jung right back on the field, but he's going to be
they're just trading
on both sides. A lot of damage. Sung-Jin Choi is going to throw down the Fortress. Make sure his teammate stays alive with Yoon Tae-sun. Tae-sun also has his own tag point. He can use that, but Yoon Jae-jung comes out first by using that last tag point for Hyuk-yeon.
Yep, Yoon Jae-jung, the only person with the tag point, no interference will be coming in from GC Busan Blue's side. Whereas Sung-Jin Choi still has his interfere.
Familiar is coming out on both sides. Juno-han has to be careful, he doesn't take too much damage. He's going to be low on health. Jump still trying to stay alive as well, trying to do some damage onto Juno Han. Taking it off in the aerial. That's going to be the beginning of the damage. And can he be saved here? Juno Han does not have a tag point they can get out with. Just the slimmest of health. Juno Han just a one tickle away from getting down as the first man out. Let's be careful here.
Yeah, we all get that interference point back at the 3-minute mark.
They're gonna go down, but that's trying to start off there. Juno Han eventually does go down, bringing out Sungjin Choi out back on the field, and he's gonna be careful trying to not go out at the second place, and that's gonna be the back-to-back deaths coming in. Yunta-sun's gonna be alive, but he's gonna go down in suit just as well, and saw that first death will be the important point to notice who's gonna go out in the end, and GC Busan Blue gets that win in game 1, and looking like you're off to a good start here.
Yeah, the timing was perfect for GC Busan Blue because Juno Han getting into the area, Sungjin Choi using his last interference point to save him with that party save. That was good until that point, but it was so unfortunate for GC Busan Red because when that happened, it was that 3-minute mark. So GC Busan Blue, everybody, well, both sides got their interference points back, but being on the offensive for GC Busan Blue, they were able to just straight away utilize the interference points that they got and just finish off back-to-back Juno Han and Sungjin Choi into the victory, getting that last kill off.
This is where it all began. Juno Han going down so low. Yeah. 2v2. Both way interference. Just talked about, you know, the trade coming on front for GC Busan Blue meant that Juno Han and the rest of the team was going to have a hard time to stick around, and GC Busan Blue definitely took advantage of what they did and punished their opponents with it, and which did lead to Juno Han going down as the first man out.
Yeah, so up until now, GC Busan Blue was on the upper hand, had the upper hand. This was that moment where, you know, we thought Jung Won-yoon will be knocked out, but sooner or later we're gonna see Juno Han being saved by Sungjin Choi right here. This is going to be the moment. The last interference point comes in. There we go. Juno Han gets saved. But now we have 5 seconds until that 3-minute mark, and everybody gets the interference points back, and GC Busan Blue just goes super aggressive and just knocks out Juno Han and then Sungjin Choi.
It's really what's important that Jung Won-yoon stayed alive for that longest of time. Talking about him almost dying out in that mid-game, and if he did, I don't think all the plays would have come through after that. And it's going to be GC Busan Blue picking up the game 1 win here, and going to go back to singles to see if GC Busan Blue can be just as dominative. We talked about teams that had a strong roster, basically a paper filled with really talented players, but what does that relate into when you talk about actual results? We talked about coup d'etat in the past, having Shingen Kim on the lineup, did not really translate into any results. GC Busan Red looking strong in the first series out, while on this winner's match, looking like they're having a hard time against GC Busan Blue now.
Yep, now set 2 will be singles, and just looking at the tag, it kind of tells a story because on the first 2 matches, we saw the tag being dominated by the opponents, but now we do see Force Master coming out with Yuntaesun's Gunslinger, so we'll see how this matchup is because now a lot of people or a lot of players are saying, you know, Jung Won-yoon always complains about how Force Master is so weak, but now it's so strong, it's been buffed, and Jung Won-yoon being, you know, a Force Master one trick, we'll see how he will be able to kind of control and take advantage of this Force Master.
It's going to be important. Of course, talking about Jung Won-yoon having his pride over that Force Master, even when it was one of the weakest classes out there, but he still made it look very, very good. Now that the actual stats are decent enough that he can utilize it quite well, he's thinking that he really shouldn't be losing any 1v1s from here on, but it's going to be against the Gunslinger, who has been the up-and-coming, the class that has been looked upon as possibly the strongest class right now on T1. But we're going to waste no time here as we get on to game 2. Can GC Busan Blue extend their lead, or can GC Busan Red come back in this one? We're going to find out with Jung Won-yoon on the Force Master, with Yuntaesun on the Gunslinger for the next match. So the cheers coming from the crowds means that both of the teams have a huge following behind their backs, and Jung Won-yoon got a huge following from him as well over the years. He's the best Force Master ever to play this game.
Let's see how this will be played out. I haven't seen this matchup with a Force Master being up to Jung Won-yoon's status, if he will be able to take out this upcoming Gunslinger, but the damage being taken from Jung Yoon.
Given one opportunity, and that's the damage you're going to take, and Jung Yoon taking further damage, it's going to be over.
Wow.
Just one hit, one auto attack, left click, and that is it. You're just done. That's what you need to finish off the game in 40 seconds.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Was it 40 seconds? Was it not shorter?
24. It was about 36 seconds to be exact.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really short.
Yep. Well, Yuntaesun definitely knows how to go up against Jung Yoon's Force Master, because Jung Yoon's Force Master was one of those classes where everybody was afraid to go up against.
I mean, you talked about direct counter to the Force Master. Used to be the assassin, but Jung Yoon never really lost to any assassin in the past singles of 1v1, but Son showing that, yeah, Gunslinger is quite strong if you give him a chance, and just smiling all laps now, and if they're going into set 3 with a little more positivity.
You know, like if you notice in the VCR, they are kind of laughing, they're pointing, because, you know, the booths are across from each other. So after every round, we could see the two teams kind of giving looks and kind of laughing at each other depending on the outcomes. And it's just good to see the two sister teams not being, you know, tilted or not being angry for losing or winning.
See Junohan just pointing at Jung Yoon right now. Yeah. This is what you got. And Jung's like, all right, I'll just let you have it for this one. And returning for set 3 here. We're just rotating the roulette once again to see what we're going to get. I'd actually be really interested in seeing singles on this one. See, this is going to be a lot of matches coming through, talking about what that could mean for all these players trying to just make it all work out. But are we going to see the single or the tag match? That's going to be an interesting thing right here.
Oh, it stopped?
It stopped? Okay, so tag match. So it's going to be it. Oh, no. It's going to be tag or singles? Okay, so it's going to be tag.
Okay.
Confirmed by the, so where it stops for the time being, that's the final decision, supposedly. That's how it goes here. So we're going to get a tag match. What's a repeat of set 1. Of course, that one, we saw it from GC Busan Blue, came very, very easily across their tracks, knocking off Junohan very early in the game, and eventually him going down. Jung Yoon surviving in the mid-game was important for them to get a very convincing Game 1 victory, but set 3, I think GC Busan Red has in mind of what they need to fix and what they need to repair for in preparation for this set 3.
Yeah, because in round 1, or set 1 rather, GC Busan Blue seemed a lot stronger in the tag matches. So we're going to have set 3, the random match, as tag, as well as set 4 going to be tag. So if GC Busan Red does not come up with the plan to defeat GC Busan Blue in a tag, this will be over before we even get to set 5.
Really could be, and we're guaranteed to play at least 2 more tags from here. And that will mean that GC Busan Blue or GC Busan Red, now currently even on the scoreline, could really decide who gets the upper hand on this one, because it's really important for a team to get ahead, knowing that you only have to win 1 more game to finish off the series. And I think both sister teams now knows exactly what to do against their opponents right now. And of course, with GC Busan Red losing out that first one, definitely going to be ready to face them off once again in set 3.
We'll have to see if Seungyeon Choi will be able to kind of provide the backup, provide the save, or the refugee that his teammates need as a support, because Jung Yoon is definitely doing his job on his side. So we'll have to see in this third match if Seungyeon Choi will be able to provide the same backup as well for his teammates.
See the Gunslingers back out once again. We're going to see if they're ready to go on this one, because set 3 being a tag match, all 3 players will be involved, and we're going to decide whether the players will be ready to take a lead for their team, with GC Busan Blue and Red going to go up in this tag match. See the cheers. Definitely strong on their feet here.
If you notice, we get into the game just straight away. We don't have that little small VCR that we used to see. I love it. It's just, you know, let's get just quickly into the game and get into the action.
Let's waste not any time. Just getting in here. Neon up against Yuntaesun, 2 Gunslingers to begin us off. I imagine Gunslingers will be the first entries for every tag match we'll probably see here on, because it does so well on just kind of stalling the time. So you could get very much the easier force tag out for the first round, which is so important to not to use your attack point very early in the game.
Yep, exactly like we saw when Jinyu Park came in as the assassin and just tags out so early. Wasting tag points is crucial, especially in this Korean pro Blade and Soul scene, because they definitely know how to utilize the points. It's just when you start to kind of have that disadvantage and the opponent knows that they're going to take advantage of that. And this time around, Yuntaesan is taking the brunt of the damage, forcing that interference.
So talk about that iron plating coming in from Seongjin Choi to stop the damage that was coming from Hyuk-Yeon towards Yuntaesan. Just going again, being from distance, putting the damage on Yuntaesan. Something just a little bit more here. Can't really escape from much of the damage that's coming in, and Hyuk-Yeon just trying to trade as much as he can for this first minute and a half.
Yep, we'll have to see if Yuntaesan will kind of, you know, punish Hyuk-Yeon back for the damage that he's done, but for the next 8 seconds, they might just be separated until that force tag happened. But Hyuk-Yeon does make his move as well as Yuntaesan.
Still going to be going out. The force tag will be happening very, very close. He's going to get the chase on. That's going to be important here.
But the two Warlock mirrors, we're not going to see any of that, are we?
We're definitely not going to see a chase coming out right away. We're going to finally see just a move away. After taking that damage early in the game here.
Yep. Jung Ho-yoon comes in for that save. Yuntaesan was about to get melted down with that aerial.
Seongjin Choi helping out with that CC. Juno Han just adding to the damage there is going to force the tag out right away. Hyuk-Yeon is now back out on the field with that gunslinger.
Hyuk-Yeon is back out. He's comfortably out here because he did not need to use his first tag point. He was force tagged out, so he has that extra tag point as well as Yuntaesan.
Juno Han tags out to Seongjin Choi once again. Destroyer back out on the field. Hyuk-Yeon still looking to get damage from the distance.
Let's see, Seongjin Choi. He's been doing a great job this round doing that execute damage onto Yuntaesan. Just scared him, that burst damage from coming from the destroyer as well. But this time, it is Hyuk-Yeon, the gunslinger, the mobility character. We'll see if Seongjin Choi will be able to kind of keep up with this gunslinger.
Hyuk-Yeon wanting to punish his opponent. So, you know, as a gunslinger, you can destroy the destroyer, in fact. Put all the damage in, but Seongjin Choi holding strong for now. Most of his escapes for the moment. But look at Hyuk-Yeon taking a lot of damage from Yuntaesan, coming for the interfere, and not going to end out right there and still put out more damage before he goes out.
Yeah, the defensive interfere coming in this time around for GC Busan Blue did not do too much. The smash lands.
Use the second win to get out of there. Hyuk-Yeon has to be careful. You're going to have to use attack to just get out. On that instant, Jung Ho-yoon frees himself. He's going to have a hard time to just stick around here. Son coming back out into field. That tag point being used by Seongjin Choi.
No. Juno comes out.
2 tags used consecutively now for GC Busan Red. How this is going to affect them later on. We're talking about Juno Han now coming out. He's going to go strong on 2.
Oh gosh. It is the Warlock Mirror once again. Jung Ho-yoon decides not to go up against Juno Han's Warlock.
Yejung back out on the field. Half health. Just heal up here just a little bit. Juno Han just trying to look for the opportunity to go for the damage. Dismount the shackles, put him up in the air. Gonna go for a little bit of damage there. Just going both sides. Juno Han's taking a lot of damage now.
Seongjin Choi comes in for that save.
Fine for the moment, but Song on the gunslinger. He's gonna try to do his part. Gonna add to the damage there.
But seeing the gunslinger coming out, GC Busan Blue brings out Jung Ho-yoon to kind of stall time and, you know, allows Hyuk-Yeon as well as Yuntaesan to heal up a little and not die out with having so little health.
We'll Son just trying to get the ultimate in from Juno Han. Will this connect though?
No, it won't.
It will not.
And you know, we rarely see the Warlock ults connect unless it's to the familiar.
Right, and Seongjin Choi does come back out.
Ooh,
out
the
aerial. An aerial trying to put back Hyuk-Yeon, just trying to add to the damage as well. But the important part, Jung Ho-yoon, stay alive here. The ultimate coming through.
Okay.
The Force Master.
I want to see that ult hit as well. Ooh, that power drive from that Ice Burst Jung Ho-yoon came up for.
Let's be careful here. The Destroyer ultimate.
The ult!
Destroyer ultimate on the stunned member of Jung Ho-yoon is going to be doing the damage to finish him off, and Hyuk-Yeon Okay, so this is going to be a situation that's interesting now.
Wow, okay, Seongjin Choi, his booth is right under me, and maybe he heard me telling him to pull his weight. And he's just doing a great job, great defensive moves, great defensive interference, as well as offensive when he's on the field, as you guys just saw.
Choi got that really crucial stun to put the damage on. So that was impressive by him, but just trying to finish off Hyuk-in. That's the second member to go down. Be careful. The Gunslinger now uses the tap escape to get out of there.
And he does tag out. We do have Yoon Jae-jung coming out.
Choi still feeling just as comfortable, sticking around here and trying to rival out as much as he can, but it's going to bring Junohan back in out to the field for this mirror match with the Warlock.
Alright, we'll have to see. Nobody has any tags, so we won't see any tags until the force tags happen. 30 seconds until everybody gets an interfere point back. We'll see at that moment in the 3-minute mark, it's going to be chaotic.
See if that's the case, because Junohan still taking it slow with Yoon Jae-jung.
Ooh, with the leech into the aerial.
The aerial, but needs to lead to further damage. Unfortunately, Junohan just trying to pick out the edges where he can. Jae-jung just trying to find back where he could as well. It's important for Jae-jung to stick around because this team definitely needs all the support they can get.
Alright, so here we go. Everybody gets that interfere point back, but Jae-jung taking some of the damage.
Familiar just trying to protect his master there. Jae-jung still very low on health though. Doesn't have any tag point. So he has to stick around for that next 35 seconds. Can use Hyuk-in on the encounter there, but that ultimate not connecting there once again.
Right, Seongjin Choi coming in with that interfere. Already for GC Busan Red, all the new interfere points are gone, are used as well, whereas GC Busan Blue, they still have that one interfere from Hyuk-in. We'll have to see if Junohan as well as Yoon Jae-jung will be able to use their interfere points right after they get force tagged out.
Yoon Jae-jung doesn't want to waste any efforts there. He just use the last tag point. Use the best of it before he goes down. Hyuk-in back on the field.
Hyuk-in interferes in actually, and the force tag happens, so he just stays on the field.
Yeah. Let's see Yoon Jae-jung on the interfere once again. Nothing really happening from that, but in terms of damage, just on the rest of GC Busan Red, still looking strong. Trying to get the win, even if it goes to TKO.
Yeah, at the 1-minute mark, we'll get that interfere point back as well. But until then, GC Busan Blue not having Jung Ho-yoon is crucial because Seongjin Choi has been doing so well to support and for creating opportunities for his teammates. I have to see the Gunslinger mirror is kind of one of those mirror matches, you know, if you know what I mean. But we'll see Hyuk-in having such low health. They might be able to beat him off. We'll have to see about that. 1 minute.
1 minute time coming forward here, but Hyuk-in is going to be in a dangerous situation. Just get a few more hits, and that will be him going down to Yoon Tae-son. And second member now, it's gone for GC Busan Blue with Yoon Jae-jung low on health, trying to stick around at least for that 1 minute to give himself the closest of hopes of surviving this one. But a KO will finish out preemptively. Just waiting to finish him off. Gets that right opportunity. Finish there, that's what he's wanting here.
Alright, so we do see the leash, but Yoon Jae-jung dies off with that interference from coming in from Junohan.
That will be them, picking out the win. GC Busan Red picking up the victory there over their sister team, GC Busan Blue. Definitely wasn't a repetition of set 1. Set 3 will be all about them picking up a nice win here. In the end, picking up the good wins. Some nice kills, one after another. Will be them picking up this game here and just going on to set 4 to see another tag match, whether GC Busan Red looking strong as ever. Can they finish off their sister team, getting another win in the next one?
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. If they carry on this momentum of winning set 2 and 3 and they win set 4, they just go to the winners bracket for the next week's going up against the winners of Group B. But, you know, if their momentum is cut off in set 4 and GC Busan Blue decides to win, it will be a 2-2, which will bring us to set 5.
A lot of games can be played from this point, but I think GC Busan Red having won 2 in a row now. Yeah. Singles from the last one, and this tag match, you can just see them run away with this one. Like the stronger team at the moment. Set 4 will be underway after this replay will be on over, and All right, now how'd you see the differences? Obviously from set 3, that was different from set 1 altogether.
Well, you know, set 1 and set 3 was kind of different because, like I mentioned before, the crucial point that I caught from set 1 was that Sungjin Choi was unable to provide as much or successful backup compared to Jung Ho-yoon. But if you notice in set 3, Jung Ho-yoon, they focused him down so early, and even if Sungjin Choi did play pretty well in set 3, even if Jung Ho-yoon wasn't out there or wasn't knocked out, Sungjin Choi definitely provided that backup. You know, he pulled his weight, maybe a little even more, 1.5 worth of one person. So Sungjin Choi creating that, you remember that ult kill, he landed that ult on one character and the interfere, he focused on the other character as well. So it was very well played.
But we're not going to waste any time to get to game 4 to see whether GC Busan Red can close it out right here against GC Busan Blue. GC Busan Blue needs to find a comeback here and they can get a win right here to get to set 5. See what happens between the two sister teams. Let's get on. Could be the last one for GC Busan Red to finish this off right here. GC Busan Blue to find an answer to what's been thrown at. 2 consecutive wins now for GC Busan Red.
We'll have to see about this because last time around, Yoon Tae-sun was able to kind of come back into the game later because early on in the mirror, Hyuk-yeon definitely beat out Yoon Tae-sun, and this time around, once again, Yoon Tae-sun takes the brunt of the damage, forcing that interfere to come in from Junohan to provide that time distortion.
See Yoon Tae-sun just trying to take some damage from Hyuk-yeon. Hyuk-yeon just trying to win out in these solo trades if he can. Just move around the field, make sure he gets the damage on. That's what he's focusing on here, but really just a slow start for both these players here, and no significant damage so far. No significant CCs that gets these players up in the air for free damage. Can do, especially with the Warlock and the Gunslinger combo we've seen for so many times today.
Yep, the Gunslinger mirror is very, it's predictable for now because everything has been happening the same, especially with the 2 same classes as well as the 2 same players that we've seen in the previous tags. Yoon Tae-sun taking the early damage and maybe kind of answering back with a little bit of damage, and then they tag out. That's what usually happens. There's 20 seconds left until that force tag happens. And Yoon Tae-sun was unable to do anything to Hyuk-yi so far.
Hyuk-yeon just staying strong here. As you see Yoon Tae-sun and with his other Gunslinger. Gonna have about 5 more seconds before they are force tagged out. Seems like no trading of damage. It's gonna be forced there. Bit of mid-distance where the chase happened. None really came through, and Junohan on the field with Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master out as well.
Yep. There we go. The CC does land, brings him up into the air. The double aerial, but Junohan is taking it slow just in case. There we go. Sanctum is put down. Junohan takes a little bit of damage.
Let's see this here. See what they can make out of this one. A hard time now. Trying to do a lot of damage, and the Gunslinger now trying to just destroy the Familiar more than anything, and gonna get that successfully done. Junohan is not going to have the Familiar for the time being. They force him to tag right back out. Sungjin Choi coming out against the Warlock of Yoon Tae-jung.
If he's able to do that, but ooh, that damage coming in. That interfere from Yoon Tae-sun as well.
Just waiting for this opportunity where Sungjin Choi can get the crucial CC for the Gunslinger or even the Warlock. The amounts of damage that they could do that.
Forces Sungjin Choi to tag out because of that leech landing from Yoon Tae-jung's Warlock. Now we do have that Gunslinger back out, and they will match his Gunslinger. So we'll have Hyuk-yi and Yoon Tae-sun out once again. We might see another force tag out in the next minute and 30 seconds.
Gunslinger mirror match once again. Needs 2 sides. No real advantage going on to either side quite yet. Sun just trying to start off a good progression. We're looking for it here. Yoon Tae-sun just trying to distance himself away, but at the same time trying to damage out his opponent. Hyuk-yeon having none of it.
Yeah, it just seems as if for the past 3 rounds of tag, Hyuk-yeon knows that moment, that split second where you have that opportunity to do that damage. But this time around, Hyuk-yeon does take some of the damage, but Yoon Tae-sun getting punished for that as well.
Junohan on the field once again. Hyukyeon still sticking around. 1 minute left for him. If he can get the force tag, would give him a free tag point to work with. So Junohan been used for all the tag points now, having used once for GC Busan Red. Be effective in the late game, but still look at what the damage can come through for either side. That's gonna be the important finisher here.
Yeah, GC Busan Blue definitely taking it slow this time around. They don't want to make any mistakes because giving up that momentum is big.
Jonghyun beats himself once again, so I have a problem here, but Jonghyun with the ultimate. Gonna connect for the time being.
Took some damage when he tagged in, but now after the Sanctum is being put down, it is once again the mirror match, but Seung-Yun Choi is kind of making his move in with that offensive interfere.
See the Warlock mirror match? Yoon Jae-jung and Junohan once again. Familiars fighting at each other. Junohan just trying to do some damage, but just tags out towards Seung-Yun Choi once again.
Let's see if Seung-Yun Choi will be able to make a difference this time around.
The ultimate coming from Destroyer, doing some damage on Yoon Jae-jung though. It's gonna be a good start for GC Busan Red.
Especially if you're a Destroyer going up against a Warlock or even a Gunslinger, chipping away little by little is good enough, especially for a Destroyer in this matchup. And Seung-Yun Choi is doing a good job of that.
Careful here. Yeon trying to use that ultimate. Important for him to keep that on, but Seung-Yun Choi has this play in his tracks here. There's really no significant action enough that we might get to see the first kill of the game for this first 5 minutes. Trying to just still wait for that. See if any of the two teams will make a move here.
Yeah, 22 seconds until Seung-Yun Choi's Fury comes back, this Fury build. He definitely seems as if he wants to use that Fury one more time before he tags out or becomes a force tag out. We'll see if Seung-Yun Choi will be able to kind of land the Fury damage after he turns it on in 5 seconds.
Choi just using the Typhoon now, adding to the damage that he can do, but see Yuto-san coming out on the field, but it's going to be chased right down and putting the damage on. Hyukyeon still doing a good job of rivaling out his opponent Gunslinger, but really not enough to get a kill quite yet.
It is the Gunslinger mirror match, and they have to just find that split-second moment where they have the opportunity to do a little bit of damage. It's not even the burst damage, it's just a little bit. And this time around, Hyukyeon was able to find that hole.
Using the last tag point once again for GC Busan Red to get Junohan back out on the field. Hyukyeon still has his tag point, but he might not be able to use it. That force tag coming in a few seconds now.
Does happen. There we go, Tether Blade forcing Jung Ho-yoon to use his tab escape right when it comes in. The leech lands as well while he was frozen.
Junohan have to take advantage of this resource that he has now, knowing that Jung Ho-yoon does not have the tab escape available. Can bring out around the interferes. It's been added on with the 3-minute mark that came through.
Into the area, Jung Ho-yoon taking so much damage.
We were finally about to see the first kill of the game, but Jung Ho-yoon still has to be careful. Wow, that was a very low health bar. Jung Ho-yoon has no tag point. Yes, just heal himself, but I feel like this is going to come through. Just a few more pokes coming from Junohan, all to do it in. Literally no health available, and that's going to be him going down. Jung Ho-yoon going to be the first one to go down. We're going to see the fall of GC Busan Blue. Remember, GC Busan Red can win this one and close out the series. They're on a good start now in this first 8 minutes. You see the first man going down for GC Busan Blue.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes, it seemed as if it went down to the TKO, GC Busan Blue might have had a slight advantage in damage output, but now GC Busan Red slowly coming back, knocking out Jung Ho-yoon. Is now GC Busan Blue, you know, being forced to the corner to push back out onto GC Busan Red.
There you go. We're going to see if that continues here, because Junohan, after getting that kill, wants to take advantage of a little more opportunity. Does have Seung-Yun Choi available on the interfere. Some nice things going. Will be good enough for this guy to interfere, but Yuto-san comes back out with interferes available for both Seung-Yun Choi and Junohan.
Yeah, GC Busan Blue, no interferes left. Only just a tag point for Hyukyeon. We'll have to see if GC Busan Red, in the next minute, will be able to utilize the tag points they have to just kind of punish GC Busan Blue for using all of their tag points so early.
Intuson just trying to stick around here. GC Busan Red here. Of course, one more win could be the one they really need to win out against their sister team. What they're wanting here. Intuson still doing a valiant effort to fight out with himself, but losing a lot of health in the meantime.
A lot of damage being taken on both sides, but more on Hyukyeon's side. 10 more seconds until that force tag happens. Will Hyukyeon be able to endure this? There, he just uses his tag point to this tag out. Ooh, that ult almost actually procced for Yuntae-sun, the gunslinger ult.
Continue to jump, just trying to stick around here. That last 30 seconds. Be the last player to play out here. Ultimate forced by Stone there. Not working to anything here. Trying to stay alive is going to be the option here, and GC% Red trying to put as much damage so that if we does go to TKO, we'll be able to win out in terms of damage. But the Destroyer ultimate is going to be starting to connect, but he's standing right in the center of Injung, so it's not going to be taking too much damage. But the Gunslinger finishing it off in 5 more seconds for Hyukyeon to stay alive. But it seems like with the TKO that's eventually going to be coming up, see that the damage shot will raise the hands of JC Busan Red.
Yep, and if it does go as you say, Joel, this will finish today's Group A series for the winners and the Group A first and second match. And there we go. We do have that clean win for GC Busan Red.
Nearly a 30,000 damage output.
Yes.
Talking about how ahead he was for the entire squad there. Talking about Jung Yoon going out early once again. That was the difference point. Happening already in set 3, now happening again in set 4. We see that a 3-1 victory now going over to the red side, which did seem like the stronger team as we get into this one.
Exactly. You know, after the first round where GC Busan Blue got their first tag team win, we thought, oh, maybe the GC Busan Red could be the last year's coup d'etat. However, that was just a warm-up game for them apparently.
Yeah.
Winning out 3 games straight in a row. And taking a clean win, a clean sweep. Well, it wasn't a clean sweep, but 3 games in a row, taking a victory, bringing GC Busan Blue down to the losers bracket for next week.
We saw the only pattern that came with the tag matches was that once they lose their primary support players, the team that did lose out the first one eventually lost out. Talking about that set 1, Junohan going down very early in the game made it difficult for the rest of GC Busan Red to get their utilities on. And set 3, set 4, the 2 other tag matches that GC Busan Blue eventually lost, they both had really Jung Yoon going out very early in the game, and that really didn't allow obviously GC Busan Blue to make their plays without their support players. So you see the importance of now the support staying alive as one of the better teams, better players in their respective teams means that you have to keep your members alive, especially so without the DPS, without the support. It's going to be difficult to win games here.
Exactly, like you said, Joel, but in the last couple of tags for GC Busan Red, Sungjin Choi just played so well. It kind of reminded me of why he is the World Destroyer. Everybody calls him the World Destroyer, but this is the results of today's Group A.
GC Busan Blue finds himself the winner in the match 1 against IDEPS, but could not win against GC Busan Red, who did win out 2 games in a row. Match 2, winning out over Ha Ho Ho. The return of Junior Park wasn't a success story, and GC Busan Red finally gets the victory over GC Busan Blue, their sister team they lost to in the 2017 World Championship. It's a good redemption story for them, and gonna be another exciting series and matchup for Group B that will be on tomorrow.
Yep, and we do see the teams that will be participating. We do see Coup d'etat, Anarchy, KKC, and Nyang Nyang. So 3 of the teams are new team names. However, tomorrow when we get to it at 1300 KST, we'll see definitely a lot of familiar faces just creating a new team for new team names as well.
And you'll see the players that you will recognize for tomorrow's games, the new team names, but with familiar faces. It's going to be exciting to see how the rosters have changed up over the off-season, and what we can expect from tomorrow's games will be an exciting venture as well.
Yeah, exactly, and we did see Coup d'etat, and every time I see Coup d'etat, I just get reminded of last year's Coup d'etat. With such good members, they could not make it even into the Worlds. And this time around, Shin Young Kim won't be in Coup d'etat, as you saw him playing for IDEPS.
And that just means that we have a lot to wait for. I'm talking about tomorrow's game that will come very short in time. So you can just join back us tomorrow's in games in Sunday, 1300 Korean Standard Time. Do your Google Translator, Google whatever time conversion you need to know when that time is for you guys. And just an hour late from today's game. So if you joined us today, just join back an hour later from tomorrow's game. You'll be excited to see where the new Kudeta stands and how does that other new teams, where do they make their surprises in the marks as we kind of start off the 2018 Blade & Soul.
Yep, and as I mentioned before, all the winning teams as well as the losing teams. We do have the losers bracket coming up next week as well, so don't, lose your hopes.
But we're going to be back tomorrow for 1300 Korean Standard Time for Group B action, so we'll be back tomorrow. So see you then.